Hello and welcome to the Saturday Watchalong. We've got something a little bit different this week. So we've got the Bundesliga that we normally do, and Kieran and Rowan will be covering that as usual. But myself this week, I'm going to be watching Brighton and Arsenal. I'm going to put myself through the struggle of watching Arsenal. They've got to be better than they were on Wednesday night. Anyway, I'm joined by Kieran. I'm joined by Rowan. How are we doing today, boys?
I'm doing decent. Sorry, I muted my mic because I wanted to open my Starburst minis. But I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to this game today. Both sides have got very strong. I'm watching the Dortmund Leipzig game. Both sides have got a very strong squad out. Werner could be his last biggest game in the Bundesliga. Well, it is going to be the last biggest game. I'm pretty confident. So yeah.
I'm watching Mainz v Werder, which going into this week should have been a big game, but Mainz beat Dortmund, and I don't really know how they've done that. Why did they do that? It's ruined the race. But there is still a chance because there's 6 points between the two teams. So if Werder can get a big win tonight over Mainz, it does go to the final week. And I'll also have a little eye on good old Hull City, who returned faction today as well, with Jon Terrell and Tom Eaves up front.
The dynamic duo. So we just talk about the games in the week before we start. So Mainz getting that surprising 2-0 win over Dortmund, which was, I'm pretty sure nobody saw that coming. And then Dusseldorf gathering a 2-2 draw in the last minute against Leipzig, which probably nobody else saw that coming as well. Massive points for those. Mainz looks safe now. Dusseldorf gained a point where they probably would have seen a free hit. What do you guys think?
I think the Dusseldorf one showed fighting spirit, which you want to show when you're down the bottom of the league. Leipzig have got to be disappointed with that. No excuses. You're 2-0 up against a lower division. Well, not a lower division, but a team that's pretty much fighting for their lives, and they give up a 2-0 lead after being comfortable. And then Dortmund just never got out of the traps at all.
I mean,
it doesn't appear to be anyway.
Both teams in this game have got something to prove. Both losing 2-0 to teams that they should have convincingly beat midweek. So
Leipzig drew 2-2.
Leipzig drew 2-2, but
sorry, I meant to say the results. They should have gone their way. My bad.
For sure, but just a trip to the AFL before we talk about Hull. Fulham have just been beaten home 2-0 by Brentford.
They have.
Really big, in it?
That's a big result, especially for Brentford, because I truly believe they can book their ticket to the Championship, the Premier League soon.
I've just seen that the times that were scored. Ben Ram at 88th, Marcon Des 91st.
Yeah, he came off the bench to Marcon Des and got a goal and assist in about 20 minutes of play. So that moves Brentford a point behind Fulham. And if you're Leeds and West Brom now, you're licking your lips, aren't you? Because you can move even further away from third place.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And West Brom confirming the signing of Matheus Pereira, which they need because he's so instrumental to everything right about West Brom this season. So I can't wait for him to, hopefully, which I presume he'll be in the Premier League. And there is I struggled finding Mainz Werder Bremen, but we're on BT Extra. We've been absolutely screwed.
So Chris Watch is already in the building. He says, hi lads, hope you're right. And
Hey.
Arya Amiri Devani says, hi. You're right, mate. Hope you're doing all right today.
Sorry, I'm not rude on my phone. I am just trying to find...
Gio Reyna's starting.
So me and Kieran have just watched the Watford and Leicester game, which ended in a draw after it looking like Leicester had nicked it in the 89th minute from a screamer from Ben Chilwell. But then the most unlikely of scorers, Craig Dawson with an overhead kick, which was too powerful for Schmeichel.
Most unlikely? What do you mean? He rolls like a salmon from the centre back position, and he's overhead kicked it. But yeah, 2 defenders being the heroes, which again I definitely didn't expect going in. But I think a draw was a fair result. I do believe that. I think Watford would have felt a little bit hard done by had they lost in that 88th minute. So I think justice was served in the end. I don't know about you, Kieran.
I think that I thought that Watford played very well. To be fair, they looked the better of the two sides for the majority of the second half for sure. That goal kind of surprised me a little bit because I thought they'd just seen out the 0-0 draw. They probably got the point that they wanted coming into the game, but I think Leicester will be disappointed because now they had a real chance to move further away from fifth place with Man United dropping points last night. But after that goal went in, you've got to think that they've probably won the game. But I know where Craig Dawson with overhead kick acrobatics.
My game's kicked off, by the way.
That's it.
Yeah, I am a minute and 11 seconds in at the moment.
I'm 35. I was going to say, do you want to talk about the starting 11s? I mean, I can go first.
Yeah.
Leipzig going for Galaxy in there, obviously, then Mukalele, Klosterman, Upamecano, and Halstenberger, and Angelino, and still playing a 5 at the back. Then Sabitzer and Campbell in the middle, and then Forsberg, Schick, and Werner. And then for Dortmund, it's Haaland up front with Hazard and Gio Reyna playing at sort of the two operating cams, the wide cams. Then Guerrero, Witzel, Brandt, and More, no Hakimi. Then Chan, Hummels, Piszczek with Berke in. Now I'm just checking. Hakimi's out injured. Zagadu's on the bench though, so is Sancho. But a lot of youth players on Dortmund's bench. A lot.
Well, they've got Europa, they've got Champions League football. They ain't fighting for the league. They might as well give them a bit more game time than they would during the regular season. For Mainz, they after their big win, I wouldn't be surprised if they're unchanged, but I didn't watch the game, so I don't know what 11 they went with. But they've got Florian Muller in goal. It says here they've got Boetius at right back, but I don't think that's true because they've got Baku at right mid. So I think they'll swap. And I think Baku will go right back. Big Ridley. Jerry St. Just and Niakate, the centre-back pairing. Brzezinski on the left. Kunde, Malong and Latza as the two holding midfielders. Onisiwo, Quaison and Boetius, I can imagine, will be the three. In behind, John-Philippe Mateta. And then for Werder Bremen, you've got Yuri Pavlenka, a back forward of Friedel, Gebrselassie, Moisander and Veljkovic. A midfield three of Eggestein, Gross and Klaassen. I think Kevin Vogt is injured, from what I know, because he went off limping the other day. And the front three is Josh Sargent, Yuya Osako, and Leandro Bittencourt. So Davy Selke finds himself on the bench again. And so does Claudio Pizarro. Get in.
Oh, the legend.
Oh, good save early by Florian Muller. Josh Sargent, the American, having an early chance after cutting inside. Strikes it with the right foot. Tries to aim it at the near post. But Muller's equal to it. Good start.
So we've got a goal already. And unfortunately, for Paderborn, they are already 1-0 down. Patrick Kerman has made it 1-0 to Gladbach.
Oh dear! I abandoned ship once I knew they couldn't survive. I gave up.
That's a great ball. Oh, Mora pings a ball. Haaland looks like he should get onto it, and Upamecano comes right in front of him, clears it. But Haaland's coming is stopping a goal scoring opportunity. Then it's just a clashing of feet, and Haaland goes down. The ref isn't giving anything. I've got some. I
was going to say 2 comments as well.
You did.
So Chris Watch just said Leicester 8 points were 5th in this time of the season. I think Leicester should qualify and look at the run. In 2 still big gap, top 5 will stay as it is. Probably United in 4th, Chelsea in 5th. I don't know, because if Chelsea beat Aston Villa tomorrow, then I don't know. Don't rule Wolves out either. They've got a good run in.
Leicester as well was so close to winning that game, and that would have been so important to them. But Watford get a little closer to trying to stay up with that point.
Yeah, for sure. They'll probably see it as a point gained, not 2 dropped.
Yeah, whereas I think Leicester, because they took the lead with 2 minutes to go, will probably view it as 2 lost, just due to the situation rather than how they played. But did you find out who scored for Gladbach?
Oh, it was Herman.
Herman's the German.
I think in the media, there's been a lot of questions on Timo Werner, whether his heart's sort of in it for Leipzig. And he definitely doesn't. It seems like it doesn't seem like it now. He's going into making, basically, giving his all. As Leipzig have got a dangerous corner here.
I think it's the Champions League thing with Werner. It was just I just don't understand that at all, and I don't think it's right.
I'd like to see Leipzig without Werner. I wonder how they'd perform. I wonder what the dressing room would be like. 'Cause he's obviously an influential member of that team. He's probably the best player in that side. I'd just like to see Leipzig next year, if they don't sign a replacement for him, see what they're like, see if they can still get the Champions League without him.
Well,
go on.
Do you think they're going to sign someone? Because they have got Josef Poulsen, they have got a Schick there, who can, if they do want to play 2 up front, I think it's a very decent pairing.
Schick's on loan though.
They've got an option to buy, right?
Yeah, but Nagelsmann said he didn't have enough money. Like Angelino. He said they can't sign Angelino because they don't have enough money.
But when Werner and Upamecano were going.
Exactly, and I'm a bit confused. I swear Leipzig were like the team with the money in the Bundesliga. I swear that's what they were.
You think so? Oh, we have had another goal though, massive in the relegation battle. Dusseldorf have took the lead against Augsburg. Rowan Hennings is who scored that goal, massive for Dusseldorf.
That's very big.
Do they still have a chance to catch Mainz? I don't know about goal difference wise.
No, I think so.
Let me just look at table. If Mainz obviously, well, they've got 32. So if maybe. I think goal difference is the issue.
Where is it? I don't want to look at that. I want to look at the Bundesliga. There we go. I think this is up to date. 32 games played for all the teams. Maybe not.
What tackle by Niakate! And the ball fell to Yu Osako. Niakate with a great block, and it fell to Bittencourt, who struck it with his left, but over the bar. Good start again from Werder Bremen. They should be ahead early.
I'm pretty confident this is as it stands. Dusseldorf are on 32, Mainz are on 35. But so are Augsburg, are both on 35, Cologne 36. So yeah, with I think 2 games left of the 3 games left of the season, there's a big chance that Dusseldorf can easily get out.
It could be, because I know Dusseldorf were on the same points as Werder, but they picked up a draw midweek, so they went a point ahead. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so Werder are on 29 now.
So Ari said, if Arsenal wants to qualify for the Champions League next season, they would need the legendary defender Phil Jones in defence. Thoroughly agree. He will definitely be a key player. I really want to see Phil next to David Luiz. Wouldn't that just be the meme dream team?
That is a circus of a back two.
Well, speaking of Arsenal's back two today, they've got Mustafi and Holding playing. Rob Holding, obviously, he's had a few injuries. That's probably what's affected his career as such. He started off well when he came in for Arsenal, but I don't think he's the defender they need. I think they need a proper world-class defender there, almost like Upamecano, someone who is commanding from the back, who doesn't make a lot of mistakes. I know Upamecano's young as well, so he's got time to develop his game a little bit more.
I like Socrates, but he's on the back end of his career. But I do think he's a good centre back. Do you know what I want to see back? I want to see Mavropanos back. I don't know where the hell he's got. He disappeared off the face of the earth.
Do you have a chance in your game, Rowan?
Yeah, really well player. Forsberg just plinks it through to Schick. Schick shoots. It looks like it comes off Hummels, but he just skies it over the bar. But Leipzig passing it around incredibly well in Dortmund's third. Right,
so it seems to be a fast start in the Bundesliga at the moment. Actually, the goal for Rowan Hennings was this is quite controversial. It's been ruled out for a no-goal handball, and Augsburg have took the lead through Florian Niederlechner.
Oh.
So he's done a complete U-turn that game, and we thought that Dusseldorf got a vital goal. They
Feels like you're playing bloody Freiburg when every goal you score just gets disallowed 2 minutes later for like a random reason. And then Freiburg take the lead against you. No, it's been given as a foul. I was going to say we almost had a chance here with Jean-Philippe Mateta challenging Yuri Pavlenka, but he appears to have headed him in the face rather than the ball.
I mean, it's a great tactic.
Yeah,
use your head as a battering ram.
Blind Yuri Pavlenka. No, I think it was his arm more than anything because he was jumping and impeded the goalkeeper. But Mainz slowly building their way back into it. They were non-existent for the first 10 minutes, but now they seem to have appeared a little bit of a foothold in the game after Werder's early chances.
We just see what that goal for Augsburg does for the league.
Well, we're currently 10 minutes in, aren't we? Like, if some of these results are so early that it come in a lot.
So Hoffenheim have taken the lead against Union Berlin. It is Ilas Bebu who has got that goal. It's 1-0 to Hoffenheim against Union Berlin.
That's really big for the Europa playoffs. Example, Hoffenheim and Wolfsburg are on the same amount of points now. They're both on 47.
Yeah, and of course Wolfsburg are playing Schalke today as well. Schalke haven't won in, I think it's 8 games now, 7 games, 8 games or something. Actually, it might be more than that. It might be about 12 games, I'm thinking, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what. Again, Mainz now having the better of the chances. It was a ball on the right-hand side. I can't see if it was... it might have been... I can't tell. But he slides it across, and he does like a nice curved ball. Right into that corridor of uncertainty. 2 Werder Bremen defenders go sliding at him. It evades both of them. Falls to Mateta, attempts to chip it over Pavlenka, but he chips it over the bar as well. Good start, to be fair. Good start.
I mean, these are not the only games we've got for you today. in terms of watching along. So we've got probably another 15 minutes of only Bundesliga talk, but then at 3 o'clock we'll have Arsenal versus Brighton, and we'll have quick updates from the whole game as well, as Kieran will be watching that.
Just watch the facial emotions. You'll be able to tell exactly what. Because I'll just cheer and they'll go, "Oh, there's a goal in the Mainz Verdi game." No, sorry, there's not.
But it's come off to a fast start, the Bundesliga already. We're 10 minutes in. We've already got 1, 2, 3 goals and a disallowed goal already. It's hotting up on the penultimate weekend, isn't it?
It is. Oh, no, I was going to say there was a Yu Osaka went down in the box, but it definitely wasn't a penalty. And Mainz are coming away. It is because as much as when the Bundesliga restarted, there was much more to play for. There still is some stuff to play for, especially the positions between Gladbach and Leverkusen, I think, are the most important ones, really. And that could always go down to the final weekend.
And with the relegation as well, you've got that playoff spot, and even Werder Bremen's spot. There's all really to play for. You've got three. I think we said 3 games left, didn't we?
2.
Yeah.
2
games.
This game and the next week.
Werder need to beat Bremen.
One more
Werder
game,
need to beat Mainz by a certain amount of goals, so that in the last game of the season, if Werder win and Mainz lose again, they can hop above them. That's what I think.
Well, as it stands, I've currently got... So Paderborn are on 20. There's obviously one more game after this. So this is as it stands. Paderborn are on 20 points. They're out. Werder Bremen are on 29. Dusseldorf are also on 29. Shot! And it's wide. Sorry, I went very loud. I realised it. Thorgan Hazard, he had a lot of open space and he put it wide. But Fortuna Dusseldorf are on 29 and then Mainz are on 35 points. So
at the moment, Mainz would be safe.
Yeah.
Automatically because Werder hadn't won and Fortuna haven't won.
Yeah.
So
it's
that's
just based on Werder and Dusseldorf's result.
Yeah, and because Werder are facing Mainz, it's even more important now.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess also, Werder and Fortuna, for them, they don't want to automatically go down. They want another fighting chance against the team from the division below, which I think Werder, especially, they'll fancy their chances because they have a lot bigger names in their team than Fortuna Dusseldorf. So they fancy the chances in a playoff.
I'm trying to look at Bundesliga 2 table. So as it's said, it'd be Hamburg versus Dusseldorf.
That'd be a good game, that.
As it stands.
Yeah, it would. I'm still surprised that Werder Bremen have found themselves in this position. Yeah, they're just showing us the table now on the side. So, and it would go down to the final weekend between Dusseldorf and Bremen to see who gets the relegation playoff and who doesn't.
So, while you guys check that, I'm just going to run through the Brighton and Arsenal starting 11s and the subs. Interestingly enough, Mesut Ozil has been recalled. He's on the bench. So Brighton have got Ryan, Skeletto, Webster, Duncan, Dan Burn, that conventional back four that they use. Then they've got David Proper, Bissouma, Aaron Moy, Pascal Gross, Trossard and Morpé. Kind of a conventional lineup for Brighton. They don't really change their lineup that much. Glenn Murray's on the bench. Shane Duffy's on the bench. And Mac Allister, the Argentinian, he's also on the bench. For Arsenal, a few changes since the Wednesday night drubbing in Manchester. They've got Leno, Bellerin, Mustafi, Holding, as we previously mentioned. Kolasinac is coming for Tierney. Nicolas Pepe's actually coming as well for Eddie Nketiah. Ceballos is coming for the injured Xhaka. Guendouzi has regained his place. Saka starts again, and Lacazette and Aubameyang also start.
So Arsenal bringing back what you'd say they're big names in terms of, Lacazette. Who's on the bench? Is there any differences? Because obviously Ozil's on the bench. Is any more names?
They've got Martinelli on the bench, Willock's on the bench, Nketiah, Nelson, Maitland-Niles, Tierney, someone called Medley, and then the goalkeeper Martinez. But we have also had a goal. Bayern Munich have taken the lead against Freiburg.
Oh!
Joshua Kimmich.
Oh, they should be 1-0 for Dortmund. I think it's Hazard worms his way through. It's more or less a 2-on-1. It's practically a sweaty goal. And Haaland just powers it straight into Galaxy. That it should be 1-0 for Dortmund there. I'd just like to say that the youngsters for Dortmund, Maury especially, is absolutely giving everything in this game. Sort of trying to prove why he should be sort of starting next season not over Hakimi, but instead of bringing in a right back, maybe start Maury. And that's what he's trying to do here.
I was having a think last night about Hakimi's spot because I have a life apparently. But do you know what? I was watching Norwich. I think Max Aaron's would for some reason really suit that Hakimi role. Maybe he's not at that level yet, but because he's not very good defensively, Max Aarons. Neither is Jamal Lewis, but they're very good going forward. So I don't know what you think, but I don't know. Just something was telling me Max Aarons would suit that style.
I like Max Aarons. By the way, Wout Weghorst has just scored for Wolfsburg. They are 1-0 up against Schalke in the 16th minute.
Oh, that's huge for that 6th place. So if you heard me whelp, again, Haaland shoots straight at Galaxy.
And that means... Oh, go on.
He just can't seem to put it past him. Just straight in his hands. Well, not even in his hands, just at him.
And currently that means the Europa League spot will be Hoffenheim and Wolfsburg, because obviously 7th get it. But it would leave Freiburg out of that sort of thingy, but only 2 points... they'd be 4 points behind Hoffenheim, so it'd make them impossible to catch with a game to go. So Freiburg could see their European destiny out of their hands if they... Well, they've got to face Bayern, so they're unlikely to get a result there anyway.
Mm.
I'm just looking
at it. Gladbach are sitting in 4th by 1 point.
Yeah, because they're beating Thingy and Leverkusen drawing at the moment, are they?
Yeah, it's currently 1-1. 0-0, sorry.
Well, Bayern are 1-0 up as well.
Hertha, and Hertha are a fantastic side.
Josh Kimmich scored for Brighton.
For Brighton?
Chris Butt wouldn't be surprised for Brighton, for Bayern. Chris Butt wouldn't be surprised if Brighton win. No, I think Arsenal have got this.
Did the game end a draw when they were on Amazon Prime?
No, it was 2-1 to Brighton. It finished.
Was it 2-1 to Brighton?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I was going to say I remember watching them in our university library while I was doing essay.
We had a great setup. We had one game on in the middle. We had 2 pieces of essay work on the other, and then we had Josh having the other game on another one, so he could do the live updates.
I tell you what, I've just selected the whole game right there, and I tell you what, I'm watching Mbappe sweat. I'm so glad they released that the other day. Mbappe could sweat.
Well, I was going to talk about FIFA because we're all saying, "Oh, thank God Paderborn are down because the SBC is going to be cheaper." Do you know who's winning the Bundesliga too? Arminia Bielefeld.
They're going up, aren't they? They're certified to go up now, Arminia Bielefeld. And they might be my adopted Bundesliga team next year, because I've got a feeling we might see a Paderborn 2.0.
Oh, no.
I know.
We've got a complaint from Chris Welch. I don't agree with cardboard cutouts at Brighton or any stadium. I just think it's pointless. One of the most dashy things I've seen. I quite like it just because it adds a bit of, not adds something, but it's something nice for the fans that do it. It's like, they're actually recognising us. I saw in Millwall, they tweeted out a picture of Zerka.
Yeah.
As a camera cut out.
Did any of you see the Coppa Italia final where they had the light show? But it wasn't a light show. It was as if fans were holding like reflective banners, kind of thing. Like,
that's cool.
No, I didn't see it.
It was all virtually put on, but it gave a little bit of atmosphere. I mean, we had cardboard cutouts available today, which they're now zooming in on. And I've got to admit, lads, like for 20 quid, I don't think my cardboard cutout's worth it. Not a cardboard cutout on me.
I think if you've got a season ticket, you should have it there.
Yeah, but it's money in it.
Yeah, they need it.
Money talks.
Well, what's Kieran drinking there?
I'll give you one guess. Come on.
It's not a brand. It's a non-branded thing that we're not going to say on this channel.
Why?
I'll say Pepsi. It's not sponsored by Coke, if anyone fancies it, but...
No ads.
Hashtag no ads.
I've got a Monster, right, but do you know like the bigger cans that have got the weird lids that you can close?
Yeah, I don't like them.
I've got one of them, they're well weird, but I like it.
I
found myself just twiddling with it.
Do you know what else is really annoying? I'm watching this whole City game, but do you know what? My phone doesn't recognise that it's playing a video, so it always goes dark every now and then. I have to come and tap it every time it's really going.
Can't you change that? You can change that to like never go off, I'm pretty sure.
Turn auto lock off, do you think?
You know, if you go in your settings, do you know like you can change the time that once if you're not using your phone for like a minute or 30 seconds, it turns off. That's what that is. If you just change it to never.
Display and brightness, is it going to be there?
Oh,
We had a chance, Ron.
No. I think he's given a yellow. He's checking with his VAR. Yeah, it's a yellow. I'm just trying to think. I think Schick. Witsel was sort of moving away. Some lovely link-up play between him and it could be Reina, and Schick just comes in behind him and attacks the back of his that's thigh. What's that? Calf.
Hertha Berlin took the lead against Leverkusen. It's Kieran's favourite player, Matthias Cunha, back to the starting 11. He has put Hertha Berlin in the lid.
Schick immediately put his hand up and just said, like, he knew he did something wrong, but I think Studs did go straight into the back of his calf there. It could have been, but no, just a yellow.
That is massive for both Leverkusen and Gladbach, because that gives Gladbach a real stranglehold on that 4th place spot. And it's a bit of a it's offside. Doesn't matter. I was going to say it was a bit of a in the box ping pong, but nothing came of it. It was offside. So still 0-0 here at the moment.
I say still 0-0 in my game as well. I feel like we're the only games who haven't had a goal in the Bundesliga.
Oh, definitely. But the fact Leverkusen are losing is absolutely massive, because I still think they're only 2 points clear, though.
2 points.
So it would still go to next week.
Which is going to make it even more interesting. Who have they got next week? Fixtures. Match day 34.
I think next week, Mainz, don't they?
Leverkusen have got Mainz and Gladbach have got Hertha.
Oh, Hertha could just play spoiler to both teams. That's incredible. Could you imagine if both teams, like week after week, both thought they'd missed out because Hertha beat them?
Witsel has just got a dirty cut on the back of his leg from the Schick thing. He's still carrying on, but he bled blood.
Well, I'm glad. At least it's blood. Jean-Pierre Malong is bringing it through the midfield. Malong's looked good for me. I think I'd really like to see him in the Premier League one day. But he's gone out to... Oh, go
on. Bayern Munich have taken a 2-0 lead. Lewandowski's the one that's doubled it.
So that's Freiburg maybe saying goodbye to their European hopes and dreams.
Yeah. I mean, it's what you expect from your champions, don't you?
Yeah, they're ruthless, aren't they? And I think also... I don't know what this leaves with Wolfsburg and thingy, because obviously 7th gets Europe. Yeah. So I don't know if it leaves enough gap that Freiburg can get it next week, if Wolfsburg lose, maybe.
If Hoffenheim and Wolfsburg both lose...
How in the world...
Oh!
It is 1-0. It is. All right. Goal line technology got it right. It's Mainz, and they're doing their fists to the sky, obviously for Black Lives Matter. And it was cleared off the line. It appeared twice by Bremen, but it's not going in. I think Robin Kyson, it's headed at the back post, back across from a free kick. Sargent volleys it off the line, and then Kyson runs in and heads it again. And then Sargent's back with his foot to try and sweep it off the line. But in one of these instances, it's gone over. And it's that second one. After Sargent's cleared it once, Kyson heads it in. Sargent attempts to clear again, but it's just gone over the line. So it's 1-0 to Mainz.
Well, the goals are absolutely flying in. Dusseldorf have also just equalised. Rowan Hennings, who had his goal disallowed earlier on, has now equalised for Augsburg. The goals are absolutely flying in everywhere. The only games we don't have goals in are Leipzig and Dortmund and Cologne and Frankfurt.
So I'd say Max Hummels has played one of the most beautiful balls outside of the foot over the Leipzig defence for Hazard to collect. Hazard hits it on the volley. Galaxy just parries away for a corner. Nothing came of the corner, but that was a credible ball by Hummels.
Couldn't have been better timing for Fortuna to equalise, because this drops Bremen below Fortuna in the table now. And a lot to do for Werder Bremen, and this secures Mainz's safety at the moment.
I mean, Mainz have really, when it was time to play ball, so you could say, they have come out, and that game against Dortmund in the week, they played excellently. To beat probably the second best team in the league, it's incredible to say that they could barely beat, who was it the game we watched? Was it Augsburg, I think, that they lost to? They could barely beat Augsburg at the weekend.
The Mainz one, yeah, they looked on the weekend as if they had no hope against. Well, they lost 1-0 after Niederlechner after a minute, yeah. and they looked like they had no hope of creating anything. And then against Dortmund, that first goal was absolutely stunning.
A lovely cross from Ridley Baku and a lovely finish from Burkhardt.
Yeah, Burkhardt, who's been dropped.
He is very young, though, Burkhardt, so...
Yeah, he is, to be fair.
I mean, as it stands, Mainz do go up to 13th, with the Cologne dropping to 14th and Augsburg in 15th now.
Yeah, so we're about 2 minutes away from the kickoff of the 3 p.m. kickoffs in England for the first time since the lockdown the lockdown break. So Brighton and Arsenal are just getting ready. Their lineups on the screen on the BT. And Kieran, I'm sure you're ecstatic for the return of Hull.
I'm not. I'm so not. And I'll be honest, I'm absolutely crapping it. But I'm trying to focus on the Mainz game just for now because the boys haven't come out yet. So.
By the way, the Augsburg Dusseldorf game means a lot more now, as Augsburg, if it stays as it stands, if Dusseldorf can pick up a win, they will be on 32 points, where Augsburg will be on 35 points going into the final game of the season.
Oh,
what's the goal difference though? Is it like
only 3?
I mean,
that's a lie. No, sorry, that's a lie. It's 11.
The Dusseldorf are playing Augsburg though today.
Yeah.
So whatever they gain, they will lose.
I don't think they're getting 11 goals.
They might be by 4-1 or something, like 3-1, 4-1. That's 2 goals.
Only scored 7 on the final week is something stupid.
They'll only need 9. But yeah, there's a lot of goals this week, isn't there, in the Bundesliga? It's probably because all the games run at once, but we've had 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goals already. We're about, 20 minutes in?
Half an hour in.
Half an hour in, yeah.
Also, teams' fates are pretty much all, like most of them are already sealed. So it kind of allows them just to be free and play their type of game rather than, for example, we saw teams that were going out to draw and not to win games. Now they're already safe. They might as well just try and win games as well, because if they lose, it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure.
I mean, so let's say Emre Can could actually be one of a great centre-back in next year. I've just realised, as a midfielder, he's such an aggressive player that it really works well as a centre. There's a chance. He seems like he's just not afraid to push in as a centre back, and especially when Dortmund do play practically 5 at the back, more or less. It sort of allows Tran to play as a CDM, but have the aggressiveness of a centre back, and it could work really well. It's been working really well today.
We've seen people make that move before, though, like from a midfield or even the other way. For Kevin Vogt, for example, he's moved the complete opposite way. He went from a defender to a midfielder. So, yeah, we've seen the move before. Sorry, I just had to sort something out. But yeah,
it's 3 o'clock now, so I'm guessing Hull's kicking off. Sorry.
Can you hear the talking in the background? Because that's outside. Because I've got my window open.
No.
Like, good. I'm just wondering if we can hear like random conversations of other people that are not my family. So, it's 2-0. I took my eye off the game, and Boetius has made it 2-0 to Mainz. Which
come on, Mainz.
Yeah, pretty much. Bremen. It's looking rough for Werder Bremen at the moment. The manager, who is the most optimistic of human beings, even he looks a little bit dishevelled at this point. I'm just getting a replay here because I was obviously sorting something out. And great play. It's at the edge of the box. He strikes it with his left into the bottom corner. It's a very simple goal. It's great work beforehand. I think it might be Bionisiwo, who dribbles past 2 people. And then Ronaldo chucks it to Boetius, who takes
I just heard.
What was that? That noise was Hummels dribbling past 3 Leipzig players, and it's laid off. It's a shot, and it's a goal.
Who is it?
It's Dortmund, but don't change it yet. It will be checked for offside. It's been given. That is. It started off with Hummels from my weird whelp noise. But Hummels dribbling past 3 Leipzig defenders, getting it played into the middle. Nagelsmann looks very confused. Yeah, I mean, Hummels there, past Forsberg, past Schick, past Campbell, past Werner, plays it through to Brandt, who takes it forward to Hazard. Hazard back to Brandt, Brandt just squares it across to the middle of the box. Unmarked it was Gio Reyna. Reyna could have shot first time. He doesn't. He plays it through to Haaland, and Haaland just slots it past Galaxy. 1-0 to Dortmund.
It's massive that in terms of second place, third place finishes.
That's great from Gio Reyna there. He fakes a shot, and I think his Upamecano goes to. No, it's who's that? I can't see who it is. There's a lot of gleam on the camera, but yeah, Gio Reyna fakes it, and he could just dink it through to Haaland, who's got a bit of open space to shoot, and yeah, 1-0 Dortmund.
I just want to correct something I said. It was Danny Latzer who took it past two players, dribble past them both, and then Ronaldo chopped it to Boetius before he struck home in the bottom corner. I think I said it was an easy one, but no, it was number 6, Danny Latzer.
Well, my game's kicked off and we've had such a fast start. I've had a chance already. It was Aubameyang, similar to the goal he scored in the Europa League against Olympiacos, where he just rose in the air and sort of scissor kicked it in the air. He tried to do that, but it was blocked well by the Brighton player, and that ball into the box by Brighton. That not handball, no? No, it's been brought away. But this game has started very, very quickly. So yeah,
it was faked out by the fake shot.
I'll keep my eyes on the Bundesliga games. I'll keep my eyes on the EFL games. As I say that, Freiburg have just pulled one back against Bayern Munich. It's Lucas Holler who scored the equaliser last time out to get that 2-2 draw with Wolfsburg last week. You think Bayern Munich, it doesn't really matter for them, but Freiburg, they need the points as they're looking for that Europa League spot next year.
I mean, it's every game now that's got a goal apart from one, which is Cologne Frankfurt.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're looking at Frankfurt's, one of the Frankfurt stats where it was 29 shots, none on target or whatever it was, we shouldn't really be expecting too many goals from the lads.
No.
Just check it through. Wow. I don't know if you've seen the Derby Millwall game finished 3-2. Sibley getting a hat trick.
Yeah. I think something's happened here in this game. No, it's Kolasinac is injured. Sorry.
I tell you, that would have been a great game to watch. Matt Smith obviously scored 15th. Sibley scored in the 26th. Then he scored in the 71st. Then he scored in the 90th. Mahoney got a goal back in the 93rd. He did finish though, but Derby picking up some points against Millwall. Does that mean anything? It genuinely doesn't.
Yeah, it probably shuffles some teams around mid-table, but it doesn't.
Yeah, Millwall dropped down to I think 10th. Yeah, but yeah, it doesn't actually mean that much.
In the EFL, to be fair, it's like relegation's still tight, and it'll probably be them playoff teams that are a bit tight at the moment. I know Derby though, that's a big win considering they were down in that game to Millwall, so they'll be happy to get the 3 points.
Yeah, I'll keep my eyes on the EFL and I'll update you guys. And I'll update you with the scores, what's happening down there. Because I've got a bet on today and I've got quite a few EFL teams in there. So I will be keeping my eyes on that. I've got final score up on my computer as well, so I can watch. I think it's Jason Mohammed and the boys.
Jason Mohammed and the boys.
I mean, there was a big game in the Liga with Espanyol having a chance to get some points to save themselves from relegation, but did lose at 3-1 to Levante.
Yeah,
Atlantic plays down here.
That's on the thing at the bottom, just before the whole game. In fact, I've just put the whole game on there just for Kieran.
It's all right. My boys are here.
He's got it on his phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was there, but it's really difficult because the camera angles obviously they're not professional camera angles. I feel like I'm watching this from orbit, to be honest with you.
I mean, Leipzig are currently playing with 10 players. So Bits is out on the side of the pitch. It seems like he's in pain. He's breathing heavily. Was laid down. They're spraying him with a bit of the ice cold spray.
The magic spray.
Magic spray.
Bit of deep heat. You love to see it.
But yeah, he's clutching his knee. I see him back up, which is good news. See what happened. Oh, it's not anything like on purpose. Just him and Haaland haven't come together, and obviously Haaland being the size he was, Haaland's knee just went into bits.
Oh, what a double save!
What's happening, Kieran?
I'm sorry to cut you off. Ridley Baku starts the move with a brilliant switch. He's got it in the locker. Brzezinski then first time's passing it down the wing to Boetius, who cuts in and takes a shot. Pavlenka tips it and saves it, but he tips it in the pass of Mateta, who heads it to try and head it over him because obviously he's got down to get the save. He rises and tips it over the bar. It's great goalkeeping from Yuri Pavlenka.
Well, we've just had our first absolutely massive chance for Arsenal. David Proper in the midfield, showing his rustiness, does a 180 on ball, passes it straight to Aubameyang, even though he's looking at him. Aubameyang running. It's one of the other with Aubameyang. He's either sticking that back at net or he's putting it in row Z. And unfortunately for Arsenal, he put it into row Z. But it's a good chance. Arsenal are dominating, but everyone looks rusty out there on the pitch, even the Arsenal players that played on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We nearly had a great counter-attack here from Dortmund, switching the play. Maury found himself with acres of space, but just can't get the ball through. So I think it was... Who's that running through? Was it Bitzel?
Well, Bayern Munich have furthered their lead. They're now 3-1 in front. Lewandowski has scored again. And as it was looking good for Freiburg, maybe they could get back in the game. Now it's looking a little bit bleak for them again. It's tricky to play Bayern Munich, obviously, because they are the most on-form team. We were thinking, won't we, Kieran, on Tuesday, now that they've got the league, maybe they'll start to play Xerxes, Kai Son's a bit more, but it looks like Lewandowski just wants to shit on everybody.
He just wants that top goal. Can he not still break? Maybe he can break a record, and that's why. I'm not sure, though.
I mean, he's got another brace today, so there's no... And it's only the 40th minute or something?
37th in mine, so it'll be... Yeah, about... Oh, yeah.
It's only the 40th
31 goals this season.
He's on for a hat-trick in that game as well.
Trying to find out what the record is.
He's unbelievable in Lewandowski. I know we talk about greatest number 9s ever. He's got to be in the conversation. He honestly has. And I don't think everyone always... I think we talked about this. Do you remember when we were back in the studio? I think we said that players like Benzema never get they never get put up there with like great number 9s. And he is a good number 9, but Lewandowski is something else.
Yeah, Hoffenheim have doubled their lead as well. Kramaric coming back from injury, he has scored. It's put them 2-0 up against Union Berlin. That's massive for Kramaric because obviously he's not played since the coronavirus restart. It's nice to see him play because he is a good player. We've seen what he can do when he played for Croatia at the World Cup and then he played against us. He's a really good player.
Oh, you had to bring it up, didn't you? Still scarred. From
well, Arsenal got a chance here. Saka is curled when he's at the crossbar. Oh, that is... Oh, and Matt Ryan, he's dropped it, but he's got it before Pepper could get it. The first clear-cut chance, I'd say, for Arsenal that they should have scored. It's brilliant from Saka, that youngster. On his right foot. Curled it. Sorry, go on and finish now.
No, sorry, I interrupted you. I was going to say, Sabitz has come off with that knee injury. I don't know who's coming on. And by the way, I've found the record. It's number of goals scored for... highest number of goals scored in the season is 40 by Gerd Muller. So,
well, I mean, he needs another 9. Who do they play next week? Just check that for us, Owen.
They play Wolfsburg away.
So we've had 2 goals in the EFL so far. We've had Reading taking the lead against Stoke through Lucas João, and Barnsley have taken the lead against QPR. Massive goal for Barnsley at the bottom of the league. Kieran is shitting himself now that Barnsley have scored. It is Elliot Simoes, I think that's how you pronounce it, who has scored that goal for Barnsley.
It's one of them, like every other league, has started rather slowly. I feel the EFL has just started like a house on fire. The
EFL always does start quickly, though, even if it's like at any 3 o'clock kickoff. It's always the EFL that's the first goal, the EFL that's the first red card, something like that. There's always something going on in the EFL because it's just such a good league.
Yeah, if you want to talk about like tightness of leagues, I think the EFL is definitely up there.
You as a whole fan must have been licking your lips when Middlesbrough lost 3-0 to Swansea.
I thought that's a brilliant result. That is a really good result for us anyway. But
well, hey, go on, what's saying?
Barnsley have gone to take a lead, so it's a top. I'm refusing to get happy unless you score. So,
Danny Olmo came on for Sabitzer. Or Sabitzer, I don't know.
I'm surprised he's not starting.
Oh, Lacazette's in the box. He's had a shot. It's blocked well by Dan Burn.
It's alive. Shoot! Just shoot! And he does shoot.
Sure what's happening, Rowan?
It's Leipzig this time. Berkey having to make a save. He doesn't collect it though, and it's fumbled out. Forsberg is looking for someone. No one's there. He has to pass it. It's Vern who gets the initial shot. Berkey makes a very decent reaction save. But then Forsberg, no one's there to like in open space. He has to pass it outside the box to Campbell, and Campbell just shoots and goes straight to Berkey's hands. But again, another opportunity for Leipzig to score.
I remember when Forsberg was really crucial to everything Leipzig did, but this year he seems to have fallen not out of favour, but he doesn't play as much as he used to. Whereas other players,
he's done brilliant there, but he's offside. Arsenal started really well.
Are they looking like the more match fit team, considering they played on Wednesday?
I wouldn't say so, to be fair. I think Brighton, everybody looks sloppy, like I said, on the pitch, but it's because there's so much open space and probably people haven't played in a while that people are getting a lot of chances. And Lacazette had a shot earlier, which was brilliantly blocked by Lewis Dunk. But it's just the midfield too for Brighton. Basuma and Proper look a little bit rusty. Everyone else on the pitch looks a bit more sharper than them two, but David Proper's almost just passed it into his own net. Yeah, he's not started the best, the Dutchman.
Guess you're playing if you're playing that box to box midfield role, you've got to do the most running. It's kind of like the fullback position when you've not got wingers ahead of you. You've got to do a lot of work, and that's
definitely.
Fitness.
Yeah, but Brighton are coming forward now. Mopé's on left hand side at penalty area. He's found Dan Burn, who's put a ball in low, and Brighton have got a corner. And you know how dangerous they are from corners with their height. With
Dan Burn, big Dan Burn.
Yeah, he's the one that's just won the corner for him as well. You think that Neil Maupay, I think he's been such a good signing since he's signed from, is it Bristol City? Brentford.
Oh, and Berger, they had a golden opportunity. I think they were 3-on-1 at the back. And then I think it was Josh Sargent who cut back in on himself to chip it into the box. He chipped it in, and Yu Osaka's head is so weak, he goes into the hands of Florian Muller. But they've got to put them away because they're 2-0 down.
We speak about Josh Sargent all the time. We need that clinical nature about him. He's not a goal scorer yet. He is still young. He can make it there, but you're thinking that for Werder Bremen, if they go down, it's terrible for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see where they're going to get the goals. Yes, they scored 5 against Paderborn. It's Paderborn as much as we love them. It's Paderborn. So there is a sub as well. Because I think it might be Gebre Selassie, the experienced fullback, got kicked in the head earlier, actually, during the Mainz goal, and then it looks like he's rolled his ankle, which has been uncomfortable for him. So Augustinsson, the Swede, has come on. I think Friedel will go to right back.
Well, Brighton are really putting the pressure on him. They've won a free kick high up the pitch again on the right-hand side of penalty area. Scaletta who was tripped by Saka. They're really applying the pressure now. They're getting what they need, chances outside the area where they can put balls into the area to attack this weak Arsenal side.
I mean, nothing's happening.
How about to say, Rowan, anything happening in your game?
Nah, it's just both teams passing around the defence, not being able to muster anything up. Hasselberg now pushing forward, though. Being given a lot of space by the Dortmund players.
Go on.
Yep, no. Angelino crosses in, goes nowhere.
We've got goals in every game now. Cologne have just taken the lead against Frankfurt. It's your friend Florian Kainz, Rowan, who scored it.
Oh, legend of the Valencia.
So now we've got every single game has a goal in it. Which is really, really good because it means it's been really interesting.
The counter's on for Dortmund now. Hazard on the wing. Plays it through. Brandt to cross and it's blocked, and Upamecano doesn't clear it. Angelino handball, and it is free kick outside the box for Dortmund. Upamecano was stupid there. He tries to run it out, realizes he's not got enough time. Tries to pass to Angelino. Angelino's not ready. Slides. Hazard takes a shot. He touches Angelino's hand. It might not be given, as I think Angelino. No, it's been given. Never mind.
How are Hull getting on, Kieran?
It's just meh. I'll be honest. I was going to give you some nice description, but it's just meh. We had an early chance where there was a front post header from a corner, and that just glanced past the back post. But apart from that, nothing's happened.
How is everyone looking in that whole side? Obviously, it's EFL's first games back.
They look all right. I think everyone looks a little bit sloppy. Like there's some passes we're trying to pass out from the back, and we'll try to switch it to the full back, and it'll go out for a throw-in because just everyone looks a little bit laboured. But hopefully, and this could be one of the last times I see Malik Wilks in a Hull City shirt because and it was
from that result. So that resulting free kick, Guerrero's took it. It's just so close. He just swings by the outside of the post, but great opportunity for Dortmund there. Rafael Guerrero.
Are we almost at half time in the games?
It's just hit 45 minutes
4 minutes added on.
Right. So, yeah, we are probably at half time in some of the games.
Yeah, 2 minutes added on for me.
I think Werder Bremen, if they need... Oh, it's offside, doesn't matter. They need a goal before half time to really have any sort of chance in this game. Because They're not very good goal scoring. And honestly, if I was the manager, and I know it's probably not the best tactical thing to do, I'd put 4 up front. You might as well. You've got literally your only chance of staying in the Bundesliga is a win today. So you've got to stick 4 people up front. Bring Claudio Pizarro, wheel him on.
Well, Hoffenheim are absolutely dismantling Union Berlin. They're now 3-0 up. Muniz de Boer scored in the 55th minute, plus 2 minutes added on. So yeah, Hoffenheim, they're making their claim for that Europa League spot, which it didn't look like they'd get after losing 3-0 in the first game to Hertha Berlin.
I mean, it's a surprise to me that they sacked the manager, but it seems to have been the right move.
When a team play Paderborn, unfortunately, it's an easy win, and you have to just pick it up. And Hoffenheim are going out to prove that we can beat this. Like they can win a game. Yes, it's Paderborn, but
they're not playing Paderborn. They're playing Union Berlin.
Thank you guys for joining me for the Leipzig Dortmund Watchalong.
He's absolutely bottled that.
I mean, you've offended Paderborn in general because you said it's an easy win, and in return, you've offended Union Berlin because you called them an easy win by inadvertently calling them
Rowan, it's literally on the bottom. Pad 0, 1 MGB.
Mönchengladbach are beating Paderborn. That's a free win for them, according to you. But anyway, let's move on to.
Oh Lord!
It's right, no one's here. No one heard that, didn't they? No one heard that.
Chris Watch is going to pop up and be like, "Yep, I heard it."
Well, it's half time in my Switzerland versus Dortmund game. Fucking who cares? Yeah, no. Haaland picking up the goal. Dortmund looking the stronger side. Leipzig having a few chances, but Timo Werner has gone missing.
I think my game's going to end 2-0 to Mainz at half-time, and Werder's manager just looks like he's out of ideas. He just looks like he's got... Not his fault. He's not tactically disgraceful, but he's just got... what he's put on the pitch just isn't doing the job. So I think, honestly, just sacrifice it. Go 4-2-4 or go 3 at the back or something because you need goals. And the more strikers you put on, maybe the more goals they'll score.
I mean, that's the problem with Wolfsburg, Werder Bremen, isn't it? Like, we always say that they don't score enough goals. They've got nobody to score goals. And if they're going to put 4 strikers on, none of them really score goals.
No, as we've said, I think Davy Selke's been crap since he came in politely. But, because obviously he came from, I think, Hertha Berlin, and Hertha Berlin managed to bring in 2 proven goal scorers. There's a reason they wanted to bring them in. Because they needed a striker who could put it in the back of the net, and Selke just sadly isn't that guy.
So
or he might be, but not yet.
I'm just checking. I think we are at half-time in all games. Am I correct?
No, we're still playing here. We've got 20 seconds.
You're still playing, right? Yeah, that is the only game that isn't at half-time. Yeah, all of the games are at half-time.
We're now 25 seconds past the 4-minute mark.
Interestingly enough, there's been no other goals in the AFL since those 2 that I told you about earlier.
Since we said that there's always goals.
There's always something going on, just not all the time.
And that's half time, and that is half time.
So,
and as it's half time, Charlton have come forward, and George Long makes a save. Thank you.
So we'll just talk about the games at half time. How are Mainz doing, and how are Bremen doing?
They're the better side. They're just a better footballing side. They're the better technical side. They look the more compact side. There's nothing I could really say about Mainz. They haven't done anything wrong. They're fully worthy of their 2-0 lead. And it's as we said, their squad was too talented to be in this sort of fight. Yet they found themselves here and they found themselves a way to get out. Werder Bremen looked worryingly bad. They did not create much at all, apart from in that early spell for the first 5 or 6 minutes. It's 1-0 to Charlton.
Oh dear.
Fuck's sake. And yeah, just Werder Bremen have looked bad. That's pretty brilliant.
Both of his teams having a shitter. In my game, Dortmund have been the better side of the result from the goal. Leipzig had a few chances, but Timo Werner, he had one decent opportunity which was saved by Baker, but apart from that, I haven't heard his name a lot and I haven't really seen him on the ball. So yeah, I don't know whether the move's sort of affecting him, but also him going to Chelsea is a big move. It is a good signing for Chelsea, isn't it? Like they sort of need that striker. It's strange because you would have thought Tammy Abraham.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Tammy Abraham, but you know, it kind of like burned out towards the middle of the season. Tammy Abraham, Timo Werner will not do that.
I mean, maybe they do. They probably will play two up front, maybe with him.
I know, but they've got Ziyech and they've got Pulisic. They've got too many good players to play two up front. That's the thing. They'd need to pack that midfield because you think you've got Kante, Jorginho, Mason Mount, Ziyech. They all need to get on the pitch, including Pulisic, Willian if he stays. There's a lot of good players out there that they need to get on the pitch if they want to win. Kieran is absolutely distraught.
Yeah, I'm pretty much watching my team get relegated in front of my eyes. It's not the greatest thing to view, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Brighton had a chance that was saved well by Leno. They've come into the game in the past 5 minutes. They've played all right, to be fair. They've definitely looked a bit rusty, but so have Arsenal. It's been quite an entertaining 21 minutes of the game. But Rowan, half-time in your game, Leipzig and Dortmund.
Yeah, I'm coming into the second half. I think if Dortmund play the way they are, they're playing a bit before you see them really working that current attack because you have got your Hakimi injury. Guerrero. Now, Morris fit into that Hakimi position very well, but now they're sort of trying to build it up from the centre, sort of get to that halfway line, and then release your two fullbacks or your wingers. Instead of starting with them, they're pushing it through to them to square it across to Haaland. And that's sort of how the goal came along with Maury and Brandt just switching. Morris sitting back, allowing Brandt to run. Brandt gets on the wing, crosses it straight across, Reina fakes, passes it to Haaland. Haaland scores. And it's working out for him. I don't know what Leipzig can do. It's not like they've been dreadful because they haven't. They've had great thing is they're defending well. You mid Forsberg and Campbell and when Sabitzer was on were playing decent, but they just don't have that final attack. Well, that final finish, unfortunately. And I don't know what can change. Maybe bring on Josip Poulsen, try a different style. Bring on Poulsen, take off Schick and try play them lofting balls over to sort of the big Dane. But yeah. 1-0 to Dortmund.
I'll just run through the Bundesliga scores at half-time. So Bayern Munich are 3-1 up. Goals from Kimmich, who opened the scoring, and then Lewandowski doubled. Lucas Holle got one back for Freiburg, and then Lewandowski scored again. Then we've also had the one that Rowan's just talked about, where Haaland put Dortmund in the lead. They lead Leipzig 1-0 at the Red Bull Arena. Hoffenheim are absolutely dismantling Union Berlin. Goals from Ilas Bebu, Andrej Kramaric, and Manus Dabur have them 3-0 up at half-time. They're looking the most likely for the Europa League spot, I'd say.
Yeah, it's between Wolfsburg and Freiburg, in it, but
yeah, Freiburg look like they're not going to get anything today. Fortuna Dusseldorf, who are obviously down there with Wolfsburg in that relegation battle, they had a goal disallowed early on. Rowan Hennings was the scorer, so it got disallowed. Then Niederlechner, Augsburg 1-0 about a minute after. Rowan Hennings did equalise about 15 minutes after that, though, and it's currently 1-1 in that game. Dusseldorf obviously needing to pick the points up. Any points would do with them nicely. Hertha Berlin are leading against Bayer Leverkusen. Kieran's favourite Brazilian, Mateus Cunha, put them in the lead in the 22nd minute. Kieran's game, Mainz 2, Werder Bremen 0. Obviously talking about how lacklustre Werder Bremen be, but how good Mainz have been. Robin Quaison and Jean-Paul Boetius with the goals for Mainz. Schalke continuing their torrid run of form after their good performance at the weekend against Leverkusen. They are 1-0 down to a big Wout Weghorst goal from the 16th minute of play. Wolfsburg obviously looking for that Europa League spot as well. Cologne beating Frankfurt 1-0. That goal on the stroke half-time for Florian Kainz has them 1-0 up against Frankfurt, who absolutely dismantled Hertha Berlin last week after Breita's red card. And unfortunately, Paderborn are losing again. It's only 1-0 though to Gladbach, who are looking to get Champions League. And that is the Bundesliga, guys.
Yeah, some big results in sort of both sides of the table. I know Kieran's happy with his team, but if we look at the table as it stands, I'm just going to refresh it. Bayern are obviously champions with Dortmund in second, securing their Champions League football. As it stands as well, never mind. I was going to say as it stands, Leipzig could still not get Champions League football, but the goal difference is too much. I mean, Leverkusen are the ones on 60 points, and they're on plus 17 goal difference, where Leipzig are on plus 44. So they would get fourth if they finished on the same points as Leverkusen or on Gladbach. So yeah, Leipzig in third, Gladbach moving up to that Champions League spot in fourth, Leverkusen dropped down to fifth, and you've got Wolfsburg in sixth, Hoffenheim in seventh, Freiburg in eighth, Frankfurt in ninth, and then Hertha Berlin move up to 10th with their result today with that Matthäus Cunha goal. In 11th, it is Schalke. In 12th, it is Cologne. 13th, Union Berlin. 14th, Mainz. Mainz pushing themselves up the table a bit more. Augsburg now moving down to that 15th spot. And then your bottom three stays the same with Fortuna Düsseldorf in that playoff relegation spot. And then Werder Bremen in 17th. Can still get out. Can still get playoffs, sorry. And then Paderborn in 18th, who are unfortunately very relegated.
Not just relegated, they're very relegated.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were talking about earlier the Bundesliga 2, and now we're gonna have Arminia Bielefeld in probably in the Bundesliga next year. That'll be really good for them, but I'm hoping that Stuttgart can get back up as well because I like Stuttgart.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, with the other teams from Bundesliga 2, I'm just trying to load it up. You've got Hamburg, who have had a recent Bundesliga experience. Where I'm pretty confident Arminia Bielefeld.
I don't know when the last time where they were in the Bundesliga, or even if they have ever been in the Bundesliga.
That's too much German history for me.
I could have.
The thing is, Bundesliga 2 though is filled with kind of names that we've kind of been synonymous to, like Hanover, Hamburger, Stuttgart.
Nuremberg.
Owen was in it last year.
Yeah.
Arminia Bielefeld.
It's just amazing.
Let me go on their Wikipedia because it's easier.
So yeah, we had a half a chance for Brighton. I wouldn't say a half chance. It would have been a chance if Trossard didn't volley it over the crossbar, but David Propper put a nice ball over the top for him, and instead of squaring it, he went for the shot, and he absolutely mistimed it. It bounced off the top of his boot and flew into Rosie. There's a lot of players that like Rosie. So
Arminia Bielefeld, they have been in the Bundesliga. Their last time they were in the Bundesliga was 2008-9. They finished last and were relegated. They got relegated to Bundesliga 3.
Oh wow!
My God,
that's unfortunate.
I'm sorry, I'm just going through. I'm reading as I talk. Talked about how I think they end up getting promoted. They lost a playoff to Darmstadt. And they got up to the Bundesliga 2, but then they lost a playoff against Darmstadt on away goals. And so Arminia had to go back down to Bundesliga 3.
Go on.
Sorry, and then in 2014 they got to the DFB Pokal semi-final.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then, oh my God! I'll come back on to say what you wanted to say, Kieran.
Wigan have just taken the lead against Huddersfield.
I don't know if that's good. They're both down there.
Yep.
I've got Huddersfield on my bloody bet.
Oh.
I've got Hull, so.
So have I.
I told you not to, and I told you, you know what? We've looked absolutely crap. A lot. I say something. I'm surprised. We've been deservedly to be losing. To be honest, I tell you what, the goal was awful. That was honestly League 2 quality goal. That was. No offense to any League 2 people, because I'm probably offending you if you see it, Matt. George Long, he's got fucking Bartosz Dragowski flappy hands, and he's parried it to their defender who headed it off cross in an open goal. So you love to see it.
Yeah, there's still time for you to get back into the game. It's only about half an hour in, isn't it?
So Arminia Bielefeld, it seems like they love the cup because they got to the quarterfinals years later while still being Bundesliga 3, and then they lost their manager in the 2017-18 season. It was bought out, and then in November 2018 they were practically free of debt, but they had to sell their stadium.
Oh.
Then there was this club is absolutely mental. Then
right, go on. Keep talking about them. Go on. I've just something I've spotted, but it's okay. Go on, carry on.
The match bring Arminia back to the league still midfield. During the 2019 season, the club played its best season in recent years, resulting in promotion to Bundesliga. Sorry.
They've been right up and down and through the ringer. It sounds like that. Yeah. But Werder Bremen have brought on Füllkrug, the striker, and it looks like they're bringing on Finn Bartels as well. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but it's an attacker at least.
Well, Saka's whipped in. His shot for Lacazette. What a header! What a save by Matt Ryan. That should have been 1-0. That is a magnificent save by Matt Ryan. It's Saka who whipped it in down left hand side. Been best player on pitch. It's bounced just before Lacazette's gone to head it, which has probably helped him. To be fair, it's a really good header, good connection. Like Matt Ryan just gets down quick enough and bats it away. It's hotting up in the Premier League. That's all I'll say. But yeah, we should be getting back underway with the 2:30s in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, still waiting. Füllkrug is putting some water on his hair just to look good before he comes on.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
It's what matters when you're in a relegation battle, that your hair looks good. And just looks like them two. And I tell you what, Finn Bartels, he's been around for bloody years. Or he looks like it anyway. But is there a sub for Mainz as well? I can't tell, but there is definitely 2 subs for
do you know the famous English show Gogglebox?
Yes.
Well, America have got their own. It's called Celebrity Watch Party. No? Which for me just doesn't have the same ring to it. I mean, is Gogglebox a very English word? You've got the Gogglebox.
I don't know if do you know what, is Gogglebox a word?
Yeah.
Is it in the dictionary? Can you use it in a sentence?
Hold up, Oxford English Dictionary. I'm finding this out.
Right, as he does that, Skeletto's with the ball in outside. It's picked up by Morpay. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Brighton have gone backwards a bit. Boring. Absolutely boring. Whip it in box, man. I tell you, we take the piss out of Skeletto. He's done all right today.
We don't. I just say he's robbing a living.
It is. I found it. It means a television set.
Lovely. That is
as my game is coming back.
That's our useless fact of the day.
It's Taylor Adams warming up for Leipzig. He's going to come on.
That was like a word, so I just questioned its existence.
Is that a word? I think it's a word.
Despondent.
I understood that.
Prick.
Yes.
Taylor Adams coming on for number 16, which, if I'm correct, is Halstenberger, because I looked it up earlier. I'll check that, I think.
I'm still waiting for something to happen here.
It is? No. Oh, close. It was Klosterman.
It's a Mainz sub as well. So we've got Bartels and Füllkrug on one side coming on. And then on the other side for Mainz, we have Oztunali, I think, coming on.
I'd like to ask, is Bittencourt there? Was he on the bench?
Bittencourt started the game, yes.
Did he? All right, okay, that's fine then.
I won't be able to tell you he's been subbed off because they're obviously not on the pitch.
Yeah.
So so I'll have to, because I don't know the numbers. I should have done the research like Rowan, to be honest.
Well, if I did my research, I got it wrong.
Oh,
go
on.
Just another go into EFL. Just going to say Bristol City have taken the lead against Blackburn. Jamie Patterson.
It's Robin Kyson, the goal scorer, that's been took off for Oztunali, and that surprises me. And on the bench, he looked a little bit peed off that he'd been subbed off. And I'm not surprised. Maybe they're saving him, for next game. And
I've just seen Sabitzer drinking what it looked like was baby food. It did not look pleasant. Sabitzer came on. Taylor Adams, I'm guessing he's coming on at centre back. I'm trying to see where he is on the pitch. But Klosterman was playing at the back, obviously, as he is a defender. I'm trying to tell you the Werder Bremen subs exactly. There you go. Yeah, so Oztunali came on for Kyson then. Füllkrug came on for Bittencourt, and Bartels for Gross. Is it Gross? It's spelled like GRO and then the weird B.
Gross, yeah.
Gross, yeah. Gross.
Like Pascal for Brighton.
Gross.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I don't know how posh to say it. I'll just say Gross. Oh, that's a great tackle.
Pascal.
So Taylor Adams has just gone absolutely balls to the wall. I say that. The big chance for Dortmund. It's a shot. Oh, my God. He's put it wide. Who's that? That is Mora. Haaland uses big boy body, and he holds off the defender. When he's up in Meccano, he squares it. He goes for a shot, I think, but he ends up squaring it across to Mora. Mora puts it wide. Haaland was claiming a penalty. I'm just watching it. Oh, he's got a claim. Oh, that's unfortunate. When Mora goes to stretch, he slips with his other foot and loses it, but nothing given. But Dortmund immediately coming straight out of the blocks.
Well, Leno's gone down for Arsenal here, having collided with Neil Maupay. He does look at some grimace on his face.
What are you doing?
I'm guessing that's Hull, not Werder Bremen.
No, it's Hull. It came to Josh Bowler at the back post. He kicked his own foot instead of the ball. But then it fell at the edge of the box to Matty Pennington, who struck it, and it's a corner.
I'm just going to check my bet. I know Hull will be letting me down, but there's a chance that it can come back.
Trust me, I'm not letting you down any more than they're letting me down.
Yeah, you're the fan.
No, Blackburn have just equalised against Bristol City, so fuck's sake.
If I load up mine, I think my bet's already out the window. Both of them. They are. Oh no, one of them's. Oh, I had one that was it was a stupid one, but it was Nkunku to have 2 or more shots on target, and same with Poulsen. It's been voided because both of them didn't start. And then in my ACCA, Arsenal are drawing, Leicester lost, Leicester drew, Fulham lost, Hull are losing, and Leverkusen are losing. So I've already lost because fucking Leicester and Fulham lost. Great.
It was Corey Evans who scored for Blackburn.
Is that former Hull City legend Corey Evans?
Is that former Hull City legend? I don't know.
Oh wow, you don't. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
When
I say usually it's a rhetorical question.
I think Leno's going to have to go off here. You know, I think because Emiliano Martinez is stripped and ready. He's putting the gloves on. Leno's, I think he's going on the stretcher, which is really bad for Arsenal because we saw how crucial he was. They'd have probably got beat about 7-0 if they didn't have him on Wednesday night.
It's bad for him as well because he's been brilliant this year, and it's not his fault.
What Bundesliga team were you at before I signed?
Leverkusen.
It was either Leverkusen or Mönchengladbach, but I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong.
Yeah, got replaced by Radetzky. Well, he didn't get replaced. They just sold him and got Radetzky.
Oh, there's a German commentator I'm watching now, and he's great. I love the German accent.
Oh, we was watching I can't remember, was it you, Kieran, that I talked about, and the commentator sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was last week, and they had to cut to German commentators, and it sweared like Arnie was promoting everything.
Right, Mukalele's gone down, and he is rolling. Now, I don't know whether it's Gio Reyna, so Reyna... Oh, it's unfortunate. What happens is Reyna goes to chase the ball. He's just running. Mukalele slides. Reyna stamps on his ankle. But Mukalele, he oversold it, but he's rolling around like he's a gymnast.
The thing is with Mukiele, though, he's had injury problems this season already.
Yeah, it's not Reyna's fault. Reyna's just running absolutely trampled on it.
Is it him or Kanate that's had the injury problems? I think it's him.
I think it's Mukalele.
I can't remember which one it was of the two, but they've had really problems.
I don't like that from Mukalele. He's just caused an unnecessary... Reyna's got a card for it as well. And I think that's because genuine Mukalele stayed on the floor for 2 minutes, but as soon as the card came in, he got up and took a free kick.
Well, no, when you stamp on someone though, you're gonna get carded.
It wasn't like he's run and jumped on him. He's just running. No, he's gone to chip the ball over Mukalele, and he's got it past, and then he stamped it. It's not on. I think that's a harsh yellow card, in my opinion. That is.
So yeah, the Bundesliga's got quite a slow start in the second half. There's been no goals so far. We're about, I think, 5 or 7 minutes into the second half so far.
Yeah, 5 minutes in.
We've had absolutely nothing. But Finn Bartels is bringing it forward, and it's right to Friedel.
But yeah, in my game, Bernd Leno is being stretched off, and I think Emiliano Martinez is going to have to come on for him. He's stripped and ready. It wasn't Neil Maupay's fault. Just before you say something, right? It wasn't Neil Maupay's fault. He'd just gone up to try and contest the ball, and it's just how Leno landed. Really, what were we going to say, Ron?
You're not at half time yet, right?
No, we're at 40th minute. There's going to be about 3 or 4 minutes added on.
Imagine if Martinez gets injured, right? They might genuinely, let's say he gets injured for half time, they might have to play a full half with a sub goal, an extra goal, a non-goalkeeper. There we go.
Well, let's hope that he doesn't get injured.
Oh no, obviously not. But it'd be entertaining.
I
don't want him to get injured. Maybe he gets red carded then.
That's much nicer.
No, I'd rather him get red carded than get injured.
Haaland's found himself open. He shoots. Oh! Galaxy makes a save, but he comes off Galaxy's knee, hitting the crossbar. No, the Dortmund players are there, but that's a pivotal save for Galaxy. Haaland bundles back.
So Martinez's first bit of play was to pass it straight to the Brighton player, about 30 yards out from goal, just along the floor, passed it straight to him.
Quality distribution from Emiliano Martinez.
Feeling his way back into the game, and he's just given a corner away.
He's not used to playing. It's fine. He needs to remember the colours.
He's feeling his way back into the side.
He's a Europa League goalie, isn't he? But well, they're not in the Europa League anymore.
He's never played Brighton. It's all right. We can let him off.
I mean, he stood in front of Saka for some reason.
Oh, full crook!
It's a shot. He had just made such a good save.
Go on, you can talk first because Hull have got a free kick.
Well, I was slagging him off, and Aaron Moy just did a thunderous, venomous volley along the floor, and he's made a good save as Martinez there, to be fair, at his near post. I thought that was 1-0.
Oh. I'm not you going to let you talk about Werder Bremen.
All right. Fulkrug basically picked it up and he flicked it over his own leg with his left foot and then volleyed it straight into the feet of Muller, but it's a good save. And Werder Bremen will hope they can have more of that to get back into this game.
Well, in one of the Bundesliga games, we just had a quick-fire double. Paderborn equalised through Sven Mitchell, and then Lars Stindl, a minute after, put Borussia Mönchengladbach back in front. A premature celebration from Kieran there. But it's 2-0 to Hertha Berlin as well in that game. Dodi Luca Bacchio has doubled Hertha's lead, and it's all the goals are flying in now.
Well, Kev Campbell's just got a yellow card for dissent. But also, Peter Galaxy's arse has saved Leipzig. So that early thing, the reshot, I thought it came off his leg. No, Haaland's makes Galaxy, but it's hit the back of Galaxy's arse, which has sort of pinged, I don't know how, but he's pinged it up into the crossbar. But he's got dumps like a truck, and it's saved him.
As if that... oh.
Raphael Guerrero now takes it down the wing.
Bro, mate, we need words.
As if that's your commentary line.
Oh, it was another chance for AJ Arena to finally score a goal. But Haaland just plays a bit too much powerful. Too much power on it. Right, you lot living in my head rent-free ever since I got the name of the team.
It is 2-0 to Wolfsburg against Schalke. Big Wout Weghorst is at the double.
So, I heard one of them were a screamer because you said he couldn't score screamers last night.
Oh yeah, when he was going against me for Spal.
You said he don't do screamers. All right, he's picked one up from 40 yards against Schalke.
Well,
he just hoofed it up.
Well, he's pissed me off because I had Schalke on my back, so I was thinking they played well last week, so they might be.
Did he get beat midweek though?
Do you want to have some bit more of despair?
Did they get beat?
I think they drew this midweek.
Mönchengladbach's goal to pump 2-1 up was a penalty as well.
Oh. I thought last time we got disallowed. I was about to give it another cheer.
It was Hunemeyer as well. Hunemeyer who gave it away.
Oh, bless him.
I'm going to check the Paderborn team. See if your boys are playing. Gadjasula's not playing. Oh yeah, he's playing at centre-back.
There's another sub, and Danny Latzer, who had the great assist for Boetius, where he showed his really nice cross control and nice dribbling. And obviously, Ronaldo.
Angelino's put a great ball in there. Looks like it's going out of play, and he just whips it in. Berkey's had to get up there quickly, but if you're Chelsea here, you'll be watching this game thinking, why have we just paid so much for Werner? If you're basing it off this game, because he hasn't done much. He really hasn't. And it's another late tackle here, this time Angelino going in on Mora. Yeah, Angelino's accepted the yellow. The bad guy from Ted.
Barrero came on for Danny Latzer. I think he's a young midfielder.
He is. He's 18. He's Leonardo Barrero.
It's a dive. It's not a penalty or anything, but Boytis has been booked for a dive.
I've just gone on the Sky Sports, live thing just to check how Hull were getting on. It says attempt missed, John Terrell.
Oh no!
When was that?
40 minutes.
40 minutes ago, or
on the 40-minute mark.
Oh, I must have missed it.
We've got 5 minutes out of time here.
We've been shit.
Well, still a second half, mate. There's still a second half.
There is.
I don't want to get relegated, man.
Well, as it currently stands, Hull are in the bottom 3.
I know how it stands.
Sorry. I'm just. Oh no, it's 3-0 to fucking Wolfsburg now. Kevin and Barbu's made it 3-0. Schalke are shit, are they?
Yeah, the young side put up a good fight against Leverkusen, to be fair, but they've got a lot of injury problems, and maybe that's it. But I don't know if that's what it can be put down to, or maybe they're just crap. I think they're not the same team without Amin Harit, but that proves how important he was to the team. Oh, Davy Klaassen looked like we were lining one up then, but ref got in the way.
Haaland is the strangest player ever. He seems like a man who doesn't want to do any work, but then as soon as he gets a ball, he's like Sonic. Sonic's quite lazy until he sees them golden rings, and then he's off. And that's Haaland with the ball. I can see a reaction, but I think that's a good. I can do a better one.
Lovely.
It's like Mario. It's like Mario when he gets the mushroom. Before, he's a little small dweeb, but as soon as he gets the mushroom, he's a big boy, and that's what Haaland is with the ball.
Rowan, I'm going to tell you this now. Just shut up. It's
not. It's 2-1. Bremen are back in it. Yuya Osako, and I tell you what, it was great work on the near side, should I say? No, far side. Kieran, far and near. That's how it works. On the far side by David Klaassen, who drills it in. Fulkrug does really well with his close control. He does, do you know, a Dele Alli against Burnley, where he crifts it in on the line, even though he's falling over. And it falls to Klaassen, who squares it to Osako, he leathers it home with venom. In off the bar. Is it game on for Werder Bremen? Oh, get it.
Why are you celebrating?
Why am I celebrating?
Yeah.
Because I want the last game of season to matter.
But Mainz.
I don't care.
Wow.
He just wants Werder Bremen to win now.
Oh, that's lovely. What a tackle that is by, I think it's Webster. Yeah, it is. What a tackle that is. Aubameyang would have been in to make it 1-0. That is a fantastic challenge.
I mean, one of the teams is what should have got to win.
Limbs.
That's really tough.
Yeah, he's taking the piss, but his league's been voided because it's fucking pointless.
Wow. We're just not wasting time.
In this game with Bremen, anyway, I'm pretty sure if we say they don't score goals, but if I'm not mistaken, Yuya Osako's been on the score sheet like the last couple of weeks.
He could have scored against Bayern Munich as well. He had a nice header that was saved in the last minute by Neuer.
Aye, he's had a good couple of attempts, but I don't think he's the man to keep them up. But if he keeps nipping away with the odd goal, gives them a chance. But they've got to go. They've got to keep going because there's 30 minutes to go, and he's picked it up on edge of box. Oh, it's wide. Thought Yuya Osako were at bloody double.
Not the Bob Brace.
I thought he'd picked up a Bob Brace.
I'll be honest, lads, this has been the most boring 15 minutes of football. We've had one attacking chance, and that didn't even result in a disallowed ball. Crossbar.
Disallowed ball?
Nah, it's because the ball came in. Clearly by Hummels, Leipzig have got a corner.
A disallowed ball.
Alright, right, I was starting to say something interesting happened in the game, alright, Kieran. Because it was going to be dead air, and I didn't want dead air.
Dead air? Right. The centre back.
Dead air, the centre back. So, high ball. Ooh. Okay. Berkey dived very early. He was not even heading in the net, but he wanted to make like he was doing something.
I think nearly all the games in the AFL are at half time. Is your game at half time yet, Kieran?
No, minute and a half to go, mate. Minute and a half.
Ah, right. Not long, mate. Not long. You're right. I'm going to make a bold prediction. You're going to come back in second half.
You're going to get a good draw.
Wow.
It's not a good draw. It's fucking
It's points. You know, points mean prizes, and for you, it might stop you from going down.
Charlton at home. Get a grip, man.
Yeah, Rowan.
See, this is why I don't like to talk to Kieran when Hull are playing. It happens every time we used to go to Morrison's.
Trust me, it was same with Kieran last night. He turned heel. He wasn't going to watch SmackDown. He turned heel.
To be fair, I was kind of tilted last night.
And that's only because you're not going to get in Champions League. Imagine going down a fucking division.
I know, but it's like, yeah, I know.
I don't want to play Thursday night. I want to go away to Plymouth Argyle, but it might happen.
Oh, Plymouth Argyle is a lovely day. We play him on the regs.
I'm over it. I think we are going to get relegated. I'm over it.
I mean, if not, you get to play Rotherham next year.
If you lose this game, it's looking likely.
Great tackle by Finn Bartels. He's not showing his grey hair that's on his head with that sprint back. You'll love to see it.
It's such a shame that you can't get relegated to divisions because, like, if you stay up, boom, you get to play Rotherham. If you go down to League One, you don't even get to play us.
Did he just say it's a shame you don't get relegated to divisions?
Yeah, just because I wanted told to play Oldham.
You might play me.
Sorry, so going to play pissing Halifax if Halifax win playoffs. It could be Oldham versus Halifax. It's just, I think I said it on the podcast, but for my entirety of my footballing life, Halifax have never been in League Two. And Oldham have always been in League One. And in the space of 3 years, Halifax have been building up better performances, and Oldham have just been getting shitter and shitter. Now there's finally a chance that Halifax will eventually play in League Two.
I mean, my bet would have been alright if I didn't put fucking Schalke on it.
And Hull. No offence, Kieran.
No, but Hull are only 1-0 down. Schalke are 3-0 down.
It's alright. We're going down. It's okay.
I tell you, Leipzig being a bit. I said the game was boring, but Leipzig are actually getting crosses in now. They probably have 3 in the past 5 minutes. So they've all gone straight to Berkey, but it's more positive football.
Oh, nothing.
I realised I didn't pronounce the T. I just went positive.
And there's another 2 subs for Mainz.
Oh, it's great build-up play.
Who's coming on?
Shots cross come in. Oh! That camera angle made it look a lot worse than it did. I think that's Hazard Guerrero plays the ball in, and Campbell's just in the middle of the box ready to block it. But the way the camera angle, it looked like Campbell was facing his own net and he blocks it. The ball doesn't go to the net; it goes out. But from the way it was looking like, he nearly put it in his own net.
Well, Kieran, it says, I'm looking on Final Score. It says that you've had 7 attempts, 1 on target, 4 corners, and you're actually having nearly 60% possession. So, I mean, you are probably the better of the 2 sides.
But they are losing 1-0.
Right, Rowan, just shut up.
When I've glanced, I'll be honest, we've not created much. Maybe I've missed it. Do you know what? Maybe we have been on top, and then every time I glance over, they lose the ball on purpose.
It's just you.
Yeah, mate. Every time I watch them on telly, it's been 4-0 and 5-1. So 1-0, actually, it's a welcomed reminder that we don't always concede 5.
It's only half time, mate.
Yeah, it could be worse, boss. Could be worse. Right, let's talk about Werder, who have it's a floaty ball into the box, but it was over the head of the striker. I think Edemilson Fernandez, I think, is the one that's come on for Mainz. I think. Is that the Fernandez that plays for Mainz?
The former West Ham man.
Yeah, is that the one? Yeah.
I mean, Dortmund passing around well, and Chan could have got that. Again, some lovely 1-2s from Dortmund on the left side of the pitch.
To finish it, great save by Yuri Pavlenka. Mainz could have put themselves far and away in the game. It was a nice reverse ball between the fullback who was out of position and the centre half. And I can't see who it was, but he couldn't slot it past the legs of Yuri Pavlenka. I apologise.
Was it Ridley?
It wasn't Ridley, no.
Oh.
No, it wasn't, sadly. I don't know. It wasn't Daniel Brzezinski, was it? No, he's not. He's too big to be Daniel Brzezinski. He's a tall man who was giving it limbs, but he's missed.
Hoffenheim are now 4-0 up against
Jesus.
Union Berlin. It is Baumgartner who has scored the fourth.
Oh,
Dave,
that's
the Austrian, right, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was Big Shalai, the Hungarian striker.
Adam Shalai.
Yeah, the big Hungarian striker missed it. So.
Shalaya.
He's got an header again, but it's into the hands of Yuri Pavlenka. Shalai is an outlet for Mainz. Why are you laughing at that?
Said nobody ever.
I think that's a disgraceful attempt. I mean, could be worse. Tom Eaves could be your outlet, you know.
Right, if Tom Eaves scores in the second half, I don't want to hear you moaning then.
Come on.
I don't want to hear you celebrating then if he's not good enough.
Hey, no, I love Tom Eaves. I'm never going to do that. And
former Oldham legend. I realised I could say that.
Can't say that about
I can't say that in many watch-alongs. At least when Kieran watched Leipzig, you can say Galaxy, former Hull legend.
Is that Timo Werner, former Oldham legend?
Yeah. I've heard he was brought up in the youth academy at Oldham.
Moved to Germany at a young age.
Yeah. He was touted to be the next big thing, and Oldham didn't want to bring that pressure on him.
Yeah. I can see that, to be fair.
It's the goal in the Werder Bremen game. There's been very few and far between the chances, really. But I would like to see Claudio Pizarro take the field. I really would.
Why? Because he's ancient?
Yes. And could you imagine if Bremen win today 3-2 and in the 90th minute, Pizarro steps up?
It's 4-0 to Wolfsburg. João Victor has made it 4-0. Schalke are absolutely shite. Why did I bet on them? The twats.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't understand that one either, to be honest.
I mean, we'll just have, as most of the games are on the 70th minute now, Bayern Munich 3-1 up against Freiburg, Dortmund 1-0 up against Leipzig, Hoffenheim 4-0 up against Union Berlin, Dusseldorf 1-1 against Augsburg. Hold up, Dortmund have got a great... Morris shoots! Galaxy former legend had to make a save. Hertha Berlin 2, Leverkusen 0. Mainz 2, Werder Bremen 1, Schalke 0, Wolfsburg 4, Cologne 1, Frankfurt 0, and Paderborn 1, Mönchengladbach 2.
I tell you what, today in the Hull City game, we could have done with Buddy Peter Galaxy. He wouldn't have tapped it across to their captain like George Long did. Peter Galaxy's not got flappy hands.
So yeah, the scores are on. That was the scores on the door.
What a save by Yuri Pavlenka. I apologise, but it was a shot out of nowhere, and his reactions there, he must have seen it late through a few bodies, because I didn't expect him to fire
There's a late... Sorry about this, Kieran. There's a late comeback on for Schalke. Rabbi Matondo's made it 4-1.
Oh, it's all right. He does see it late. That's a brilliant reflex.
It's a shot! Okay. Oh, sorry, Kieran.
No, what does it? Don't worry about it.
Could have just seen a goal of the season. Angelino chests it, volleys it into the box. I think that's Werner chests it. It goes to chest, but he ends up heading it to Schick. Schick then to Forsberg. Forsberg shoot. That's an incredible tackle by Hummels. And then Werner's about to poke in, and Piszczek makes the block. Oh, and it's the new Chelsea man being taken off Timo Werner for Nkunku is going to come on. And someone else, and Campbell's come off. I'm guessing maybe Paulson's come on. No, Haidara has come on for Campbell. And Nkunku for Werner.
I think Schalke are on the comeback. You know, I think they can get back into this game now. It's only 4-1.
Oh, I thought he was about to say it's 4-2. I was about to say no. I tell you what, Finn Bartels couldn't handle Ridley back here. He's cropped him as he was bursting towards the Werder Bremen box. You know, stop Ridley back here before he gets in that long range area. He's lethal.
We're at half time. Are you out, Kieran?
Yeah. I'm gonna. Well, after the games have done, if you guys have got anywhere to be, you can go. I'll stay. Actually, Kieran will be away because like the Bundesliga games will be finished by probably about 20 minutes before, maybe half an hour before the this Premier League game is finished.
No, it's fine. I'll stay.
No problem.
Well, no, because I'll be watching Hull anyway, and closer, isn't it?
This game's been quite decent for a 0-0 draw, though. It's been very even. That's all I'll say.
Even means draw.
No, but you can have 0-0s where one team dominates. Yeah, that's not been the case.
No, you are right. You are right. Tell you what as a Ridley Baku fanboy, what do you think of him playing right back? Because I know you think he's better at centre mid, but do you think he suits it or not?
I don't know normally. Well, it's normally Brzezinski who plays right back for Mainz, or Pierre Gabriel. Like Aaron Martin might be injured. That's why they're playing him left back.
Probably because obviously I think it's kind of similar with Gebre Selassie going off. They've moved Friedel from left to right.
Yeah, Baku's good wherever he plays, Kieran. Mate.
Oh, I should have thought.
Baku's fantastic, man.
Mvogo's living his best life. He's there just fully sprawled out on the chairs, knowing that he's not going to come on.
He's a good Swiss goalkeeper. It's just I think he could be a starter somewhere, but it's nice to have a good backup goalkeeper.
Oh, Gio Reyna's done well. Great there. Holding it out from two Leipzig players and sort of giving it to Jeremy Chan now, who's trying to give them a chance to push through. Never mind, he's just going to keep on going. He's still going. Oh, there you go, he's passed it.
I was literally about to say Schalke on the comeback. It's now 4-1 until I realised that it was already 4-1. We do have a goal, though. Big Dost has scored for Frankfurt.
Ooh.
Oh, limbs.
Is that an equaliser?
It is an equaliser for Frankfurt. And I'll tell you something, there must be a blue moon tonight because we've got Wout Weghorst and Bastos scoring on the same day.
A blue moon? Is that
what the bloody term is?
Oh, once in a blue moon. I thought you was making a City reference. I was like, no, they're in the former Man City legend Wout Weghorst.
I've heard he was in their academy.
Along with Team
Other. Well, it was the Manchester connection, weren't it? They all banded together to go to Germany.
Of course they did.
They all booked the flights at the same time.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think we need some subs in this game for. It's a free kick for Werder. Ridley Baku giving away a foul. That's silly. That is. That's silly.
Never my midfielder. So just before you say, what do you think Werder Bremen have got to do to try and get back into this game?
Just sub on some strikers. Just go hell for leather. Because to be fair, they've had the better of the half, but they may just get caught on the counter. I'd adopt 3 at the back. I think 3 at the back might be the way to go.
And what about you, Rob?
2 seconds. I didn't hear your question. Sorry, because all right, Chan I think has stuck out Haidara. Sorry, because the referee ran over, and I thought it was yellow card in Haidara, but he's not. He's did it to card. Sorry, what was the question? My bad.
Just before I ask you again, Lars Stindl has made it 3-1 to Mönchengladbach.
Well.
Against Paderborn. My question was, what do in your case, what do Leipzig need to do to get into this game?
I'm about to say make a change, but they've took off Forsberg and brought on Kanate. I don't know. The thing is that they've used all their subs now. They used all 5, but I don't know. It's that the thing is that both teams haven't been bad. Just Leipzig, as a cross comes in though, they've got a lot of men up there, and it's just headed wide. I think that's Schick who heads it. They're just going to keep on attacking Dortmund because eventually we'll find a breakthrough. They've had shots, not many on target. There was a space of like probably 4 minutes where they had like 3 repeatedly into Berkey's hands. It was Schick who jumps up there and he just elbows Piszczek. Nothing more. Piszczek's just going to wipe it away and thingy. But it's just keep on attacking that Dortmund defence because eventually you're going to get a breakthrough and it's going to be a goal. As Jadon Sancho now is warming up for Dortmund, so it could go from bad to worse for Leipzig. Sorry, yeah,
from bad to worse. Have they been bad?
They just haven't had the finishing touch. I say that, and they've nearly just no, they haven't. That's the problem. So here, I don't know who it was. Schick tries to play through someone, but no one's there. And that's the problem. There's been no one to latch on. Whereas Dortmund, if Guerrero gets the ball, Brandt or Haaland are making the runs. Vice versa with the other side with More. The other players are making runs for these your fullbacks. Whereas in this side, I feel like Angelino's the only one who's had a half decent showing, and yet he hasn't been particularly amazing.
I mean, Angelino was awful when he was at City.
He's found a new lease. I think it's one of them. He's like in a back 5 most of the time. Just allows him to go forward. And I tell you what, Mainz can't get out at the moment. It's constant pressure from from Werder Bremen, and they have pretty much set up shop in Mainz's half. I do think so. Maybe some fresh legs though, because maybe Josh Sargent's flagging a little bit, but I maybe just keep as many strikes on as possible.
Oh,
what's happening?
Sorry, Kieran.
That's fine.
Dortmund sniffing out Leipzig. Chance counter. Brandt's take it. Brandt passes it to, I think it's Haaland who sits himself on the wing, and Emre Can from centre back is blistering forward, and the ball's just too much power on it. But that's a little less power. Emre Can's 1-on-1 on goal, and I don't think you should be saying that with your centre back, but he is quicker than all the Leipzig players there. Unfortunately, ball with too much power.
Onisiwo has come off for Hack. He's putting up a 5 signal, which makes me think there's going 5 at the back for Mainz.
Yeah, Hack is the centre half.
Yeah, because I think he said either 5-3-2 or 5-4-1 with his hands. Not very secretive. Everyone can read. But, I think it's surprising me that Mainz have brought on fresh legs before Bremen have. But they do want another centre-back there just to keep the ball. And
we're about to get back underway in my game. Brighton are back out. Arsenal are just coming out now. It's going to be lovely, this. Can't wait for the 62nd half.
Dortmund are making their first change, and it's More, the youngster, who's had a great game. This thing, 77 minutes of just him consistently performing well. Sancho's coming on, so you probably expect them now to go 3 at the back with Sancho on your right wing, Guerrero left wing, Haaland, and then Brandt and Hazard as operating cams. So I don't see Sancho playing as that right wing back, really.
No, you don't want Sancho right wing back. You want him as further forward as you can, probably close to their second. Close to the.
See him. It looks like he's sitting at. Yeah, he's at right wing. He was just in the out position. So yeah, Sancho coming on. Dortmund do have another 4 subs left, with Leipzig have got none, which could make all the impact because Dortmund players not looking like they're tired or anything. So I think in 2 minutes, if Dortmund won't make 3-4 changes, that's 4 immediately fresh legs, 5 including Sancho, fresh legs on the pitch.
Yeah, it could be. That could be what the difference is. Like we saw Dortmund last week, they had that tough game against Dusseldorf, which probably took a lot out of them.
Yeah.
Then they got beat in the week by Mainz. They've come back. They've bounced back a little bit. I know it's not really crucial that they win today, but for Lucien Favre, it probably is, because he'll probably want to beat the best competition.
A win's a win at the end of the day. So
yeah.
By the way, lads, didn't realise Milot Rashica's on the bench, which I knew he weren't starting, but I didn't know he were on bench. He's got to come on at some point, because he's a game changer.
That's got to be scary for Mainz.
It is, especially if they could get a goal back and make it 2-2 before bringing on Milot Rashica.
Well, Aubameyang's had a shot, which is saved well by Ryan, spilled, but he's collected it before it got to the drop to the feet of Lacazette.
Witsel just being yellow carded for absolutely hoofing the ball away after the free kick after Leipzig won a free kick. He just cleared. That Leipzig stadium's beautiful as well. I say it every week, but I love Bundesliga stadium. It's so open.
The Red Bull Arena is lovely.
Oh, also, there's a thing on YouTube, I think it's on Discovery Australia. I might be on Discovery England. It's Richard Hammond going at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And he's showing how they transform their pitch to an NFL pitch in 15 minutes. And they're showing how they make their own beer and how this... Oh my God, that's abysmal. Don't. It's a free kick outside the box, I think. Yeah, it's Haidara who's going to takes it. And he goes to, I think it's a cross. I can't really tell, but he just skies it way over the crossbar. Way over. And Dortmund are going to be making another sub here. It's number 18, who is... I'll tell you in a second. Kieran's clapping off on the boys.
No, I'm clapping on Claudio Pizarro, who's been wheeled out 10 minutes ago.
He probably has been wheeled out because he's that old.
So excited.
It's Lucien Favre who's taken off the other youngster, Gio Reyna, but he is replacing him with another one in Belerde. Coming on.
It's a centre half coming on as well. Maybe he's trying to shut up shop.
Yeah, maybe. I think he'll probably push Belady at centre back and maybe push Chan as a centre mid because Chan's been very attacking this game. I'm just looking now.
Maybe that's how he's going.
No, I'm lying. Chan is still at centre back. Belady's at centre mid.
Oh no, I feel so bad for skinhead Kolasinac, honestly. He's just tripped over trying to keep balling. Like, he's just slid on his face. Trying to keep balling.
He works hard, does Kolasinac. He's a bit rash, but he works hard.
I just don't think he's a good defender. There's a lot of fullbacks that aren't good defenders that are good attackers.
Yeah. Friedel,
is not one.
Friedel, the fullback, is off for Claudio Pizarro.
Being wheeled on, as Kieran said.
He has.
It's a good result for Brighton if they can get a draw here, right?
Honestly,
I guess I'm going to say top 6 side, but
yeah, it is a good result for Brighton. They're pressing as well. I can see him getting a win, you know. Now that I've said that, watch Arsenal score from this attack. I mean, this game's going to be either 1-0 to either team or 0-0. That's all. There won't be many goals in it.
No, not from the first half anyway. It did seem rather evenly matched, which is sad for a team like Arsenal's quality.
Well, they've got a chance to hit attackers in the box. Had a shot. Good save, Ryan, near post. It's 2-0 to Wigan, by the way, against Huddersfield.
Good result for them.
Dortmund are just resulting to, when the Leipzig attack, just absolutely kicking the shit out of the ball and just sending it way back to the halfway line. And it's not happened again. This time they decided to take it out at the back normally. Ugh.
I tell you, troops will not be happy. Because he was having a moan at Nketiah for not holding the line. I think it was DT, actually. He was having a moan at Nketiah for not holding the line, and if Saka holds the line there, even though the shot was saved, he'd have probably scored.
And it's just, I'll be honest, the Mainz manager is willing his team to push out, but they just can't. It's just constant Bremen pressure. They had a respite with a free kick earlier, but it came to nothing. And you know what? It's constant long balls into the box to try and pick up either scraps. And Baku.
What's he done?
He went to clear it and he sliced it and almost kicked it for a corner. And it has been a corner. Ridley, Baku.
Ridley, what are you doing to me?
I mean, you talk about consistent pressure. Leipzig have kept it in Dortmund's half for nearly 3 minutes straight now. They had, at one point, they had 9 players in Dortmund's third. And Dortmund just unable to clear it. Like, I think they're trying to not do what they were doing.
Aubameyang through, is he onside? He scored. I don't think he's onside, though. No, he's not. It's going to go to VAR check anyway. But the assistant's got his flag up. Aubameyang has put it in.
Angelino's in! Saved by Burke. Sorry.
I'm just checking now. He's very tight. I think he might just be onside. I think Arsenal might have put themselves in the lead here. It is VAR. It's Martin Atkins who's the ref. So.
Oh, sad.
Then Preston have taken the lead against Luton, Kieran.
That's good, I guess.
Actually, now he does look offside.
Might have won it. It's 3-1. And off the bench, it's
Fernandes.
It's Ridley back
I think it might be Fernandes, actually. The thing was, with Bremen, they were pushing forward so much that it left them weakened to a counter, and that's exactly what happened. It's not Ridley Baku. I think it is, but Baku might get the assist. And
yes.
He just prodded it home between the legs of Yuri Pavlenka. Had a good second half, but couldn't do anything about that. It's gone through his legs. And what am I seeing a replay of here? A Charlton missed attempts. That's okay.
Yeah, and what was I going to say then? Yeah, Matt Ryan's down injured now for Brighton.
Well, not a good day for goalkeepers.
No, it was Lacazette slid in on him as he's clipped ball. It's Lacazette's trying to play the ball. It's unintentional that he slid in on him, but Matt Ryan's hurt his foot. He's hurt his ankle.
And Mainz's manager is on the pitch. He's absolutely buzzing. And Claudio Pizarro, who had to get a day pass from the nursing home just to appear today, as human.
I was literally going to say that the goals in the Bundesliga they've kind of sizzled off a little bit now because we've not had one for a while. But that Mainz goal is the most recent one we've had. Go on, Mainz.
Great tackle.
Yeah, Mainz. Danny Selke's on now, so it is literally about 7 up top.
Oh God.
I mean, there's 4 minutes left of this game, and Leipzig have had all the pressure. I say that, and now Guerrero's through. He's gonna. Never mind. Ignore me. Yeah, he had a chance to cross it in. He goes for a cross. He goes straight to Galaxy. But Guerrero does great. But it's been all Leipzig, and I could genuinely see a late Leipzig goal. Obviously, we saw Dortmund get a late one last week when we threw Haaland. I can see Leipzig
Rob Holding is a lucky boy. He's done what David Luiz did. He's let it bounce off his knee. He did it, and luckily for him, the bounce took it away from the Brighton striker, and Holding had to clear it out himself for a corner. Brighton have got a corner from literally nothing here, and if they score from this, you're thinking David Luiz is bad. Rob Holding will be drubbed by DT after the game.
And Milot Rashica is still on the bench, so I'm surprised. And we could have seen another
Dortmund attack here. Brandt takes it, he passed it to Haaland, and Haaland's first touch was horrid. If he touches that and turns, it's Sancho, I think, is through.
Brighton are piling the pressure on. There's another ball into the box towards Big Lewis Dunk, who's up there. It's dropped for Morpay. He's got his shot off. Brilliant save by Martinez. And it's out for another corner.
2 minutes left here.
The BT's crashed, so.
Has it? Oh, no.
Oh,
well, there's not been a goal yet.
No, it's
There's 2 minutes left in Leipzig at least. It's still going.
Has occurred in the following application. Well, I know that because it's still hitting the ball into the box.
Angelino's found himself in a lot of space. Crosses across. Oh my God! It's happened again. No one's there when the ball comes. Angelino, lovely ball. Berkey was out of position.
Oh, no.
So much space open, and the Dortmund players are smart there. Hummels and Chan could have touched this and let go, but they leave it, take risks, and no Leipzig players are waiting, and it goes out for a goal kick. Sorry, Kieran, what happened? Oh no!
Oh no! It bounced to Bassoum on edge of area, and he went for a volley, and he just completely missed it, and it just looked funny.
Because my BT's crashed, I'll just kind of commentate on the whole game because at least I can see that. Josh McGuinness and James Scott are all coming onto the pitch, so it's 3 subs for Hull.
Is Scott making his debut?
It is, yeah, because the day after he signed, he got injured in training, because of course he did. So
Schalke have lost 4-1, by the way.
To Wolfsburg. Good result for Wolfsburg. If they needed to pick up a win, just try to cement their Europa League spot.
Yeah, I think every game is about to end, pretty much.
Yeah, I've got 40 seconds of normal time.
1 minute to go of normal time.
Oh, have you got your game back up?
Yeah.
Right, I'll turn off Sky.
Hoffenheim have won 4-0. Bayern Munich they're in 2 minutes added on. They've won 3-1. What's happened in the Dusseldorf games? There's something happening. What'd you say?
Is the Leverkusen game over?
It wasn't when I checked.
I was going to say because it's so important that Gladbach and
no, they're in the 91st minute.
Yeah, with 3 seconds left of the game, Dortmund is cementing the lead, bringing on 2 defenders. Zagadou is coming on 4, Hazard and Schultz is coming on 4. I'll tell you when I see him walking off. But Hazard, I saw Hazard walking off.
Kieran, unfortunately, Paderborn got beat, mate.
Oh, do you know what? Undeserved from Gladbach.
And it's Guerrero.
5 minutes added on. Sorry, there was a whole chance and I stayed silent. It's 5 minutes.
And Kunku's going to cross this ball in for Leipzig in the 90th minute. Goes in and Zagadou don't get it. He's in the box. Tyler Adams can't get to it. Shot goes straight outside the box. Sorry, he's still going. Ball's coming. And it's Schick who gets a header off, but he just goes over the crossbar.
Yeah,
Great chance for Leipzig.
Bayern Munich won 3-1 as well. That game is over.
And this game has been over since that third goal, to be fair, but Mainz have still got it. And
that's it. I think this game will be over. They haven't actually said how many minutes are left, how many at a time there is. Lucien Favre just shouting at his Dortmund team to tighten up. Zagadou for Guerrero and Schultz for Hazard. Nearly 7 at the back now.
It's nice for Schultz to get back on because he's not played much this season at all since signing in the summer.
No.
Oh, it's lovely play down the line. He's pulled it back. It's cleared. Brighton are really putting the pressure on here.
It was 3 minutes at a time, and the man you talk about, Schultz, immediately getting into opportunity to cross the ball, and it is eventually tackled, but it's thrown to Dortmund.
Blackburn lead against Bristol, by the way.
Fuck's sake, man.
Tosin Adarabioyo.
What a name. Sternen Liga in the chat said, Bremen is application being to suit of food by islands.
Say again?
Exactly. Bremen is application, like Rayman as in like the game.
Bremen. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Cheers for that, mate.
Cheers. We love the suit of the food islands. Food by islands, sorry.
And we love Rayman as well, you know. Ridley back in shot. Oh, it was blocked.
No.
40 seconds left. Julian Brandt is in the box. It comes across, and it's a goal. And it's Erling Haaland with his second. And I don't know how Dortmund have scored when they've got 7 defenders on the pitch, but they have Brandt, no one marking him on the wing, just strolls into the Leipzig box, waits, crosses it in, and Haaland, I think, outbeats Upamecano and just stabs it in with his foot. They were just having a nice little tussle.
So your game is probably over now, Rowan, you think?
Yeah, I'm just watching it now. So Hummels wins the initial header. And it's Jadon Sancho who plays a lovely ball through to Brandt. Brandt collects it. He knows no one there. He's just got to win it. And he's so much time by himself. Crosses it in. I don't know who Haaland beats, but he beats him. He just rolls off his foot in. And the whistle goes.
Is that 2 Saturdays in a row where Erling Braut Haaland has scored with pretty much the last kick of the game?
Yep. Dortmund 2-0 up. The result you expect from the team that are in second. Leipzig just not being convincing in front of goal. Angelino has been playing them balls into the box, but Schick and when Werner was on, not doing anything. But yeah, 1-0, 2-0 to Dortmund, sorry. Haaland with a late goal. All Nagelsmann can do is just say his players were unlucky, because I think there were chances for both sides. And Dortmund made the most of it.
Well, there's a chance for Arsenal now on right-hand side with Pepe. Brilliant tackle by Basuma. It's a corner, though. He's played really well as Basuma today.
What I will do is...
just look, I was going to say, I feel like I'm not really offering much, but this game has been pretty much academic since.
I think nearly every game is done apart from yours, Kieran.
Yeah, still a minute and 15 seconds to go. Because we had 5 minutes added on. I'm not sure where the 5 minutes came from, but it's all right. I've got half an hour left of the one on my phone, so.
Yeah, I'm just going through now. You're the only one that's left.
Oh, limbs, honestly. I got like nearly 2 fours on a. Honestly, limbs.
I was playing it during half time, to be honest with you.
I have been playing it though. I'm close to getting Finn Balor.
Oh, nice. Finn Balor.
Well, I mean,
Pizarro oofing the ball up to Davy Selke. It falls to Fulkrug. Pen, go on, ref, give it. No.
Ref.
Oh, ref's got absolutely no balls. He's not give it.
Yeah, because it's the ref's fault.
No one in the box for Hull. You fuck. Oh my god.
You've not been as angry as I thought you would if Hull were losing.
Oh, because I don't give a shit anymore. They've took all the passion away.
Yeah, it really sounds like you don't give a shit as well.
No, Rowan's a lot worse. He knows that this is not.
The worst one is when it was after a WWE pay-per-view and was like, "Oh, do you want to go to?" It was after something, and it was like a good talking point I wanted to talk about, and then it was just after a whole loss. We didn't have a conversation about it. It's something I want to talk about until after we've been to Morrison's.
Because it was either a 5-1 or a 4-0. So to be fair, I don't know if he was expecting me to come out in high spirits. Like if you'd asked Kieran Dillon to watch Morrison's after United got beat 6-1 by Man City, I don't think he'd have been happy chirpy. Let's talk about some wrestling.
I was also 11 as well, so if you're asking an 11-year-old to watch Morrison's, will you? Be a bit weird.
No need, man. Just
no need. I mean, is your game nearly over, Kieran?
No, we're in 64 minutes.
I mean, Kieran L. Sorry.
This has gone on a minute longer, and Mainz know that keeps them safe, and they are celebrating like it, fully deservedly so.
Up the Mainz.
Up the Mainz, indeed. Sadly, Werder Bremen, they're going to have to wait till next week to try and have a chance to get in that playoff spot. But
I mean, we'll go to the issues now that the games are done. Do you want to do it, Kieran?
Yeah, I can do it for you.
I've got them all loaded up, but if you've got them up for set.
I can do it, yeah. So Bayern Munich won 3-1, continuing their dominance of the league. Lewandowski with another 2, Joshua Kimmich got the first one, and Lucas Holler got one for Freiburg, who are looking like... will you just check where they are in the table for me, actually, Ron?
Freiburg, they're in 8th.
8th. So can they still get Europa League?
Yes, no.
Oh, what a save from Matt Ryan.
There's one game left in there, 6, 7.
Yeah.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
They can't.
How far are they off 7?
4 points.
Because Wolfsburg won 4. Yeah, Wolfsburg beat thingy, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean,
right.
The 5th and 6th looking tasty. Like you were.
So, Dortmund beat Leipzig, as Rowan said, 2-0. 2 goals from Brandt Haaland. Hoffenheim absolutely dismantled Union Berlin 4-0. They're probably the favourites to go to the Europa League now. Are they set in the Europa League? Is that done?
Hold up. They get 2 Europa League spots, don't they?
6th and 7th.
Did they? Oh, wait, is that...
No, is it 5th and 6th, actually?
5th and 6th get guaranteed Europa League, and then 7th get qualification. So, Hoffenheim have guaranteed themselves qualification. Leverkusen are guaranteed at least Europa League. They can still get Champions League or going into that final game with Gladbach and Leverkusen. Wolfsburg and Hoffenheim are both on 49 points. So that comes down to the final game as well, because if Hoffenheim win, Wolfsburg lose, Hoffenheim get guaranteed, and Wolfsburg would have to think. So there's 4 teams to look out next weekend. Gladbach, Leverkusen for Champions League, and Wolfsburg, Hoffenheim for Europa League qualification and guaranteed.
Yeah.
I switched into the back post, header from Skeletto into the hands of Martinez.
And then
the player who's robbing a living Soiro and has just had a really good chance to put Brighton in front.
And then at the bottom of the table, it's all to play for Werder Bremen now and Dusseldorf. So Augsburg have confirmed. And I think Augsburg didn't even win, did they? To get a draw?
No, they drew 1-1 with Dusseldorf.
So no teams are in 50.
Oh, what a goal!
Go on.
What a goal from Pepe that is. He's curled one in. It's a trademark Pepe goal where he's just curled it on his left foot. Straight past Matt Ryan. That is a fantastic goal. And Arsenal have taken the lead at the Amex. Continue, Rowan.
So Augsburg are on 36 points and Dusseldorf on 30. So regardless of the Dusseldorf win at the weekend, they are thingy. So no one can get relegated there. It's only the bottom 3. I see Kieran put his hat over his eyes. I'm guessing there's been a Charlton goal.
No.
All right, he was just... Sorry, you look very...
That I can't be bothered seeing what I'm seeing.
But I'll finally say Werder Bremen on 28 points. Paderborn 20, definitely gone down. That was confirmed last week. But Bremen, 28 points with Dusseldorf on 30. If Bremen win, there's 6 teams now to look out, because if Bremen win at the weekend and Dusseldorf lose, Bremen get that chance for the playoff relegation.
Go on.
If Dusseldorf win, they are safe. If there's a draw and Werder Bremen don't win by 4 goals or more, if Dusseldorf are safe.
Right, so are they safe as in qualifier safe?
So they've got playoffs. They're not automatically relegated. Yeah.
Right, so I'll just run through the fixtures. Like I said, Bayern won 3-1, Dortmund beat Leipzig 2-0, Hoffenheim beat Union Berlin 4-1, Dusseldorf and Augsburg got that 1-1 draw, which is worse for Dusseldorf than it is for Augsburg, obviously confirming their safety. Hertha Berlin beat Leverkusen 2-0, which is massive for the run for the race for Champions League football. Mainz beat Werder Bremen 3-1 almost, but confirming their safety. Werder Bremen looking a little bit bleak, as Rowan said, they need to win by 4 goals next week to have a chance at staying up. Schalke were dismantled at home by Wolfsburg, who've been scoring quite a lot of goals since the restart. Big Begos got a double. That's what we like to see. Bastos also scored against Cologne to make it 1-1. And that finished 1-1 there. And Mönchengladbach dismantled Paderborn. It has to be said, to be fair. 3-1. Unlucky, Kieran.
No, dismantled, you chose the wrong word. Squeaked by, I think would be what I'd choose.
I don't think Will Pete will be happy because Joe Lolly has put Nottingham Forest ahead.
Against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, and Blackburn are 3-1 up against Bristol City now. Bristol Rovers.
I mean, next week we've got the final game of the tournament of the season in the Bundesliga. And I say the big games to look out for are Leverkusen, Mainz, Gladbach, Hertha, Wolfsburg, Bayern Munich, Werder Bremen, Cologne, Dusseldorf, Berlin, and it's Hoffenheim, innit?
Oh, I've just switched on the Brighton game.
Yeah,
and the man that's robbing a living's been subbed off, Kieran, can't believe it.
Yeah, in Hoffenheim, Dortmund, there's a lot of games to look out. All the teams that can, so you've your Europa League and your Champions League and your playoff relegation place, they're all playing different teams. Which is so there's a lot of games to keep your eye on next week.
Bremen have got to rely on other people to do the work for them. Whoever's facing Fortuna will have
Union
to
Berlin.
beat them. Oh,
Yeah.
Union Berlin for Fortuna.
Yeah.
Oh dear, unlucky.
And Wolfsburg and Hoffenheim have got probably the most pivotal moment in their season to guarantee Europa League football. And Hoffenheim have got to beat Dortmund, and Wolfsburg have got to beat Bayern.
Oh, wow.
So if both teams lose, Wolfsburg get it on goal difference. Because they're very clearly ahead in goal difference.
I mean, you're looking at this Brighton Arsenal game. I think Brighton can get back into it, but they've got to just bury those chances that they had earlier. Like the shots that they were having were straight at Martinez.
Yeah, it was that one moment of quality really from a man that not that Brighton could never afford, but like there's a reason he plays for the top team.
Yeah.
The top team and top teams wanted him. And he's not shown it all year, but Nicolas Pepe does have that quality.
Oh, it's wonderful play from Brighton though. Ball into the box. He's picked up by Trossard onto his left, trying to poke it through, and Guendouzi's defended that well. And he's won a free kick for his side as well, Guendouzi. Good play, man.
The Arsenal game?
19 minutes.
18
minutes.
So we'll be live for another probably half an hour, 40 minutes after talking about all the results through the match day.
World.
Yeah.
Around the world in 90 minutes.
We have got some games tomorrow as well. We've got if you don't have Sky Sports, you can watch Sky doing a free game, which is Everton versus Liverpool, the Merseyside derby tomorrow. I mean, what are your early predictions, guys?
I think it'll be tighter actually. I think it might end up a draw. Because obviously we don't know what teams look like after the restart, so I wouldn't be surprised if it ends in a draw, to be honest.
Kieran Day?
Yeah.
Which game are we talking about?
Merseyside derby.
Oh, Everton.
I think Everton might win.
Really?
Ending that anybody could win, but I think the fans help Liverpool a lot. So, but they are the better footballing side. They have been all year.
Mm-hmm. Well, we talked about teams needing the fans. Union Berlin being the biggest one, and we saw how sort of they played when they didn't have it. So yeah, it could make all the difference.
I mean, they just got two lucky. I don't say two lucky wins. They got 2 good wins.
Yeah,
to keep them up.
Definitely. Luckily, the teams at the bottom haven't really been free flowing in picking up points. To be fair, in terms of Werder have had the odd game, Fortuna have had the odd game, but no one's really started marauding up the table. So,
Kieran, I'd also just like to say that Classic Beef has got 92 bonus opening. So once to boost your morale after boost your mood after Hull's loss. But they can still win actually.
The box. It's headed away by Bellerin. corner.
It's up 18 minutes to go here.
I don't believe
it. Well,
Still 18 minutes to go in this game. 16, sorry.
Yeah, yours is a little bit.
Do you see Brighton getting anything? Did you see Brighton getting anything from this game?
I mean, they could definitely get some.
I'm ahead.
So they've scored.
Do you see Brighton getting anything from this game, Kieran L?
They've scored, haven't they? Hang on. I think you're about 5 seconds ahead of me. It's whipped in by Connolly. And how was that? Has that gone in? It has. It's dunk. What has happened there? That's our DT won't be happy with that. Troops is going to go absolutely mental now that that's gone in.
I was going to say, I didn't. So because you asked me, can you see him getting anything? And then that happened, like straight away.
I don't really know what's that. What is the keeper doing? What he's trying to save it online with his hand? Well, Brighton have equalised anyway.
And just like that, Brighton won on.
What I should have done was reply with, "Yeah, I can see them scoring maybe from this corner." Actually,
yeah. Mystic Meg.
But yeah. So yeah.
Well, I mean, if Arsenal do not win this game, the DT and Troops will not be happy, and I can't wait for it, honestly.
Oh dear.
Well, Basuma and I think it's Lacazette who's down.
Yeah.
What minute are you on, Kieran?
75-40.
Oh, I'm in front of you now. Sorry.
Look, you couldn't handle it, could you?
I'm the one doing the game.
When I do this, I just settle with being behind, but no one else can be behind.
I'm the one doing the game, though.
That is true.
This is my thing.
That's my shit.
I get to watch Hull instead, which is a fucking disgrace, if I'm being polite.
You've still got 15 minutes left.
No, they've honestly been fucking disgraceful. And I'm politely swearing as well. Sorry to the channel, but
it's alright.
Awful. Absolutely.
We're allowed to.
We swear all the time.
Yeah, true.
I sort of make it a thing, see if I can swear every podcast.
Do you?
Yeah, shut up.
The thing is, I've never noticed, so you're not doing a good job.
Oh, well, fuck you.
We've already sworn.
It's not fun when you're not watching a game.
I think Eddie Nketiah is coming on, and so is Kieran Tierney for Arsenal. Lacazette's coming off. He does not look happy.
He looks injured.
I mean, this is Brighton's first game back, isn't it? For the restart. They've
played well. They have played well.
I suppose that's what you want for immediately off the break. We saw a lot of teams do the opposite of that and not look strong. Arsenal being one of them. I know you play Manchester City, who are probably the second best English team currently.
I think better though.
Yes, they were bad, but it was David Luiz's fault.
Well, yeah.
Like, it wasn't the whole team's fault. It was David Luiz's fault.
But I think that playing a better team first game back's better because you're playing at a higher tempo. You're playing against better players to get ready for those. Oh, something's happened.
No, nothing's happened. We're just that bad. It's literally we're that bad.
Well,
carry on.
I forgot what I was going to say now. I've completely lost my train of thought. Martin Atkinson's making some subs. Arsenal are making some subs.
Martin Atkinson's taking himself off. Assistant coming on.
What game was that the linesman got injured in?
He's got lockdown hair, as Martin Atkinson definitely.
He has. Did you see Etienne Capoue earlier?
It's amazing how some footballers have like hair. I did, yeah. It's amazing how some footballers have hair that looks like it's not been cut in ages, but some look like they've just had a trim. I don't know how. But...
Well, we saw in the Bundesliga people getting fined for getting haircuts. So
Sergio Aurier as well also got disciplined by his club for having a trim.
Shame. It's a big shame. Can't wait for barbers to reopen. I love this cap, but I've worn it so much in the last couple of weeks that I just want to have hair again.
If you went into lockdown with one of your parents being barbers or hairdressers, you was living a luxurious life.
Well, I got a trim just before lockdown, so we're all right.
And I went skinhead, so...
my plan was to get. Do you know when we went into lockdown? I was actually going home the week after to get a haircut because I don't ones in Leeds because it's more expensive than down here.
Is it?
Yeah. Did you see where Josh went for his trim? Oh, we'll give you a discount. It's fucking like 18 quid, but only for students.
The one by Tesco is expensive. The one in the actual town bit.
Oh, that's a penalty, isn't it? Is that not a penalty?
Penalty shot in the Brighton Arsenal game.
I think he might have been offside. Well, what happened was Aubameyang on the turn of the shot, Matt Ryan's flapped at it. He's pushed it into the air. I don't know I think it might have been given as a foul. I'm not actually quite sure what's happened here. Do you know what's happened, Kieran?
I'll know 5 minutes after you know.
Has it been given for an Nketiah foul? Yeah, it has.
I've not got the sound on, to be honest. I've not
neither have I. So it was given as an Nketiah foul on. I think it was Dunk.
I'm not sure. I couldn't grasp. I was looking down at the game here, to be honest with you. But I do. Maybe it was a high foot. I don't know.
I had no idea, but if it wasn't that, I think it probably would have been a penalty.
Oh, I've got an idea to run past you lot. We'll talk about after the stream, actually, but.
No worries.
I need to ask Big Yosh.
Yosh Elder. So
Yosh with his Euro stream. If you aren't tuned in, some of the groups are getting into the nitty gritty. Especially, I think my group and group. Is it the Denmark group? Or is one of them have already been confirmed? But some of the games are heating up. So he streams every 3 p.m. Every 3 p.m? Yeah, 3 p.m. every day. Somewhere around 3 games there. We do every Saturday as well for every watch-along. As well, obviously, Brighton. Well, we've had the Bundesliga all today. Some pivotal games gone on. We've got the Brighton-Arsenal game and the Hull Charlton game still going on for these two guys. Do you see any of these teams picking up either a late draw for Hull or a late winner for either Brighton or Arsenal?
I hope so.
You can go first, Ken.
I hope so, because I as a frequent watcher of AFTV, I love it when Arsenal get beat. It'll just be memes because they'll all have been like sticking their Pepe shirts on when he scored, and then they've been taking them off when Brighton scored. So for me, it doesn't really matter because Arsenal aren't going to get top 4. Brighton aren't really good. Brighton probably need the points for safety, but they have played quite well to say it's first game back from lockdown. They've not looked like they've been, well, in the second half especially, they've not looked like they've been half as rusty as they were in the first.
And in terms of...
It's dropped to Aubameyang, he's waited, he's shot, it's blocked and it's gone wide.
And in terms of Hull, I see absolutely no way back into this game. None. We've been hoofing balls into the box all game. Don't know why, to be honest with you. Literally, we can't create anything. No opportunities. We look void of confidence. We look void of talent. We look void of ideas. And the only place I see us going is League One, to be honest with you. And do you know what? We fully deserve it.
Do you think you can stay up? Like, obviously, this is your first game back. Are you showing sort of any positives which make you think, well, if we can eke out a couple of wins?
No.
Nothing.
No. 0. I've seen 0. And it's not even me overreacting. Nothing. Have you heard me go, oh, that was close for Hull once?
No.
I mean, if you useless.
If you look at the stats of Brighton and Arsenal, it's obviously the game's still going on. How long's left of that game?
7 minutes plus added time.
So 7 minutes added time. Yeah, Arsenal 57% possession to Brighton's 43. 10 total shots for Arsenal, 5 on target, 8 and 4 on target for Brighton. It seems like quite an even game. By the possession, is that what it seems to be in watching it, or has it been all Arsenal or all Brighton?
I mean, it's not been all Brighton for sure. It's probably been all Brighton. He played well.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say it's not quite been Mark today, but
Brighton have a corner though again, and obviously saw what they did from the last corner. I wonder if it can be the same. All 5 Brighton players lining up in almost a conga line-esque type of position in the box. It's going to be Solly March. It's not even Solly March. I don't even know who that is. Yeah, it is Solly March. Solly March whipping it in. It's missed everybody and it's headed away. And I tell you something, if Brighton can get a win here, Arsenal fans will not be happy. They will be fuming. And as I said that, what is that? What is that? Who's number 24? Davy Proper. What is that? Play it into the box, fella.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what we were thinking about, but the execution was bad, to say the least.
A good ball from Solly March to put him in. Play it along box. What is that? That looks like a shot to me.
As all the championship, how long's Hull got left, Kieran? 8 minutes-ish?
7 minutes.
I mean, we had some previous results earlier with Brentford picking up a 2-0 over Fulham, Swansea picking up a 3-0 win over Middlesbrough, and Derby County picking up a 3-2 win over Millwall. In La Liga, Atletico Bilbao are 1-0 up against Real Betis. Inigo Martinez scoring for Bilbao. I'm just looking in the table.
Scoring for Bill.
Where are Betis? I'm saying this game don't mean anything. Never mind.
No, it's a bit difficult in the league at the moment because I think it's just maybe the Champions League that matters and the relegation battle.
Yeah. Just looking, we've got 2 Serie A games also later on. Torino against Parma and Verona against Cagliari. Pronounce it. But yeah.
Strange that Coppa Italia returned before Serie A did. I thought that was strange.
Yeah, it probably gives an advantage to also Juventus, Napoli, Inter, and who's the team? Thank you.
I mean, Juventus look rubbish.
Yeah, they didn't look good at all.
No.
But Bellerin's in that right hand side here. He's going to whip a ball in. He has. It's gone past him. It's headed away by Montoya, I think it is there. Oh, if they've got it back, Arsenal. Solly Marsh missed the header.
He missed the header.
He missed the header.
I mean, while these games are still going on, so I want to keep talking. I mean, I don't think Kieran's happy with Hull. What can Hull
expect?
What can Hull do to sort of? Can they make any changes?
Be good at football.
Who have you got next week or whenever you play next?
I don't even know.
I'll have a look. You've got fixtures. February. Oh, fuck. That's results.
February?
No, that's right. So you've got Birmingham next.
Right.
And then you've got the big game that's on Sky Sports Football on Thursday, 2nd July, you against Middlesbrough. That's going to be the pivotal game for you, isn't it?
No, Charlton at home was the pivotal game.
Well, Kieran, I don't want to further your misery, but Luton have just equalised against Preston as well.
Because they give a bit of fighting spirit. We're the only team that shows nothing. You never know. 5 minutes to go. You know. Let's
could get a double.
Okay, this
or we
table
could
isn't
concede on the
up
counter. Maybe that's an option as well. But we'll talk about Arsenal because it's much easier for my heart.
I mean, not long left of the Arsenal game here.
3 minutes plus added time.
It's a must-win for Arsenal, really, because sitting in 9th currently.
If they want to get into the Champions League, it's a must-win.
I don't know if this is with the updates, but yeah, if they get a draw here, Burnley have a chance to go ahead of them.
I mean, you're looking at the next game is the next game live on Sky. After this game is Wolves and West Ham Wolves. If Wolves win, they can move level on points with Man United, I'm pretty sure, and they'll gain 2 points on Arsenal, who they're already in front of by I think 2-3 points or something like that. It's going to be massive, and it's just a shame that Arsenal just fell off this year. It's not a shame because I like laughing at them, but
I'm just trying to see when Burnley are playing. They're playing on Monday. Yeah, they've got Man. They've got City. I was going to say, well, if Burnley can pick up a win on when they play next,
I think that's the good thing for Man United because Chelsea plays Villa, and I can see Villa maybe getting some. But in the week, Chelsea play Man City.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the table, it's Liverpool, City, Leicester, more or less confirmed that them 3 Champions League spots. But for your team, Man United, Chelsea, Sheffield Wednesday. I don't think Sheffield Wednesday might not.
Sheffield Wednesday out in the league.
It's because you mentioned Sheffield Wednesday earlier. Yeah. Sheffield United. I don't think
we play Sheffield United on Wednesday.
That is a make or break for both teams.
Yeah.
Who gets Europa League qualifiers? Do we not get them?
Got new qualifiers.
Oh no.
Who it'll be? 6th and 7th, I'm pretty sure, because Man City.
Winner of the FA Cup, doesn't it?
Yeah, Man City won't have won't be in the Champions League if they don't get. Well, if that thing holds up anyway.
Yeah. So
it might even be 8th, I think, if Liverpool, not Liverpool, if one of the English teams won the Champions League.
Mm-hmm. With the FA Cup, let's say City win it. Does that mean nothing will change with it?
It'd mean whoever they was facing would be in Europe.
It depends if the runners-up are also like United, but United and then in Europe, I think it drops a place down in the Prem. Maybe.
Yeah, so you could see like Arsenal might backdoor it if they finish like 8th or something.
I'm just looking at the FA Cup currently. Sorry, like the fixtures. So you've got Norwich. Imagine Norwich getting into Europa League but they're getting relegated from the thingy.
Well, that's happened with Wigan, wasn't it? They got relegated. Yeah. They won FA
Cup. Thing is, if you look at all the teams that are left in the FA Cup, there are 2, 4, 6, 8. That seems right. Yeah. Norwich, Manchester United can get Europa League and Champions League, so that might not matter if they get the positions. Norwich are relegated, so that's a big shout. Sheffield United still might get it automatically. Arsenal can still get it automatically, technically, but it's looking out. Leicester got Champions League. Chelsea might have Champions League. City can't compete. Is a City banned from all European competitions, or is it Champions League?
I don't know.
They're banned from Europa, and then
I blame that stoppage because either the linesman's got something out in his eye or his contacts fell out.
Well, Stoke have just equalised against Reading, and Sheffield Wednesday have just equalised against Forest as well at last minute. We've got 2 minutes left in this game at the Amex. It's 1-1. Arsenal applying the pressure. Imagine if they got it on counter at last minute. Oh, I'd love that.
No bias at all.
Yeah. It's fair. He's allowed it.
Well, they're coming with, I think it's the left back Tierney, who's took on March and he's won a corner. Has he? He has. It's getting a little bit.
What time are you on in your game? Is it a couple of minutes left?
91st, 30. So there's a minute and a half left. Are you talking to Kieran?
No, you.
Oh yeah, there's a minute and 20 seconds left. There's a corner for Arsenal though, which Reece Nelson is whipping in. It's headed away. Back to Arsenal though. It's Willock.
Not long left in the games now. Can Arsenal pick up?
Guendouzi. I'll just commentate at the last minute. It's Aubameyang on right hand side. He's whipping a ball in. It's headed away again, and Basuma smacks it clear.
Right. Keepers get too much generosity in football. They come out to claim the ball, they drop it, and everyone claims it's a foul. It's not a foul. But 5 minutes added on. 5 minutes added on.
Well, there's 35 seconds left at the Amex.
And, I think the only man allowed in Hull Stadium is a sniper because the keeper's down like he's been shot.
Well, Basuma has absolutely fucked it. He's gone down on the floor and he's holding his feet like he's fucked. I think he's knackered.
Yeah, he does. It looks like it probably cramped, to be fair, because a lot of players got cramp.
You know what? He has played very well today, though.
Did somebody say just eat? Oh. Who's coming on? Who's that?
I have no idea who that is.
Gross with a beard?
No, it's Pascal Gross already playing.
Oh, right. I was going to say, I don't know who that is then.
I have no idea who that is. He'll only be on pitch for 2 seconds, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's McAllister.
Oh, the one that spent time in Argentina?
Yeah.
The man with the most Scottish name ever.
Is he like Argentinian? Has he claimed for Argentina?
Yeah, he plays for Argentina.
McAllister. He's got to have some Scottish. He does.
Will's just putting in chat, Connor Wickham clutch.
I'm just looking at McAllister. He genuinely is just Argentinian.
Yeah.
Maybe a Scottish person moved to Argentina.
I mean, for Arsenal, you've got. I'm just looking at pictures of Lacazette and Pepe. They look so pissed off. They look so pissed off.
You are correct. McAllister is of Scottish and Irish descent. Some ancestors hailed from Fife.
Brilliant. From Fife to Buenos Aires. You love to see it.
Well, it might get even worse for Arsenal here as they're coming forward. It's Maupay who's in. It's Maupay. He's won it for him. Brighton have won it at the end. It's Neil Maupay. I tell you something. AFTV is going to be beautiful tonight. Graham Potter can't believe it. He looks like he can't be bothered, but he can't believe it. Neil Maupay has won it again against Arsenal, and I can't believe it myself. Skinhead Maupay. Oh, and I tell you, Arsenal fans will be absolutely. That is a brilliant goal. The movement from him, as he's passed into him, he leaves it for Connolly, who flicks it round. I think it's Mustafi, and it's a beautiful finish from Maupay. As I said, he's been such a good signing this year, and it's near posted, and I don't think he can even believe that he scored it. But Brighton of Albion have absolutely upset the Gunners at the Amex.
I mean, it's not just big for Brighton. It's big. It's not just big loss for Arsenal, but it's big for Brighton. I hate because Sky Sport, the Bundesliga are great because they live update their tables, whereas the thingy. But Arsenal should have picked up a win here. Brighton was sitting in 15th currently, probably maybe higher if they were sitting in 15th. But Arsenal needed to pick up a win here to sort of push them up that table for that Europa League spot.
There's still time as Willock's got it to Bellerin on the right hand side. He's whipped a ball. That's brilliant defending by McAllister, I think it is. Who's just come on. Oh, what's happening here? Guendouzi's just grabbed Maupay by the throat, and it's all kicking off here. I think the game's ended, but it's all kicking off. It has ended. It is over. It's finished 2-1 to Brighton, but nobody's happy with Neil Maupay. Probably because he scored the winner. Guendouzi grabbed him by the throat. And he's still giving it bigger, Matteo Guendouzi.
Just frustration from the Arsenal team.
There's 30 seconds to go. And that's it, pretty much.
Right.
Now Kolasinac and Maupay giving it a go. Go on, what are you saying?
They both got very similar haircuts. Maupay and Kolasinac.
Both skinheads. And Guendouzi's coming back for a bit more now. The man who's robbing the living Stiletto's in there as well.
That's it. Game over. Hull have lost to Charlton. And basically, that's probably going to be any hopes and dreams of staying up. There's still many games to go, but I don't see it happening now after today.
I suppose you've just got to be positive. You've got the big game against Middlesbrough will be on make or break now, won't it, Kieran?
No, we've got the rest of every single game.
True, I suppose, but I'd say the Middlesbrough's a big one, isn't it? Because
some teams face a relegation battle and look like they try every game. We didn't. We didn't look like we tried. But there you go. That's it. Sorry to sound on a sour note, but that's just football sometimes.
Well, we'll err on the side of caution with the whole game. We won't mention it. We'll just forget it's happened. But Arsenal, though, they probably thought when that Pepe goal went in, beautiful goal from Pepe, that they'd probably won it. But I'm just looking at what's happened, and as Maupay's running past Guendouzi, he sticks his fist out and hits Maupay in the chest. It's nothing. But then I think that after the game, Guendouzi grabs Maupay's throat. So there's got to be the FA have got to look into that. Because I mean, there's no point grabbing someone's throat after the game. But
or during the game.
No. It was when the full-time whistle went. But I mean, I'm buzzing because I like Arsenal Fan TV when they lose.
Right. The EPL haven't even updated the table because it still says Brighton have played 29 games when they have played 30.
Well, that's a big step towards safety for Brighton. Let's be fair. Do you know what? That's exactly what you want to see from your team. They didn't stop trying. They didn't stop fighting. And, they had enough quality in the end. Neil Maupay proved it in the Championship and people questioned whether he could do it in the Prem. I think he's proven enough. Without his goals, Brighton may have very well been really, really in trouble this year. because Glenn Murray's too old to do it now, I think, personally. But you've got to think of it as a positive, and for Arsenal, things just get worse.
So Josh had just asked in the chat if Guendouzi got sent off, and I don't know. It looked like he grabbed his throat, and even Josh said he's got to get a ban surely after that. Like, we're trying to see if he got sent off or not, but I don't even know.
I don't think he did.
Well, you can't just go around grabbing people's necks, even after the game.
I've got to admit, I've just looked back though on the Leno injury. Was there any need for Neil Maupay to do that?
Yeah, but I mean, there's no need to be like, I don't know.
I don't think that was necessary at all from Neil Maupay. Now Leno's injured because of it. I think that was tough on. I know there's nothing stopping the Guendouzi thing, but I think that was.
I don't think Maupay's intent was to injure Leno. That's probably what the Arsenal players are just having a go at him for because they've injured Leno. But I don't think even at half time, like when they came out, you saw Maupay saying sorry to Arteta, and they had a little bit of they had a little touch on arms like you do, like you passing respect.
That's what happens when you make unnecessary. Like he had easily caught the ball, so he just pushed. I like Neil Maupay, but again, I just think that was wrong as well. So that didn't help probably the Guendouzi thing because they were probably already annoyed at him to begin with, and then he scores the winner. So.
Well, as they say, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
They don't.
Unless that is
winner.
Fair play to Brighton.
Yeah, definitely.
And Vizza tweeted, Guendouzi is genuinely the wettest footballer I've ever seen. Every game he cries about some shit. And I agree.
Apparently, moved his arm and punched Maupay in the stomach.
Yeah, but it was after the game he bloody grabbed his neck.
No. So there must have been some going on between them two. Anyway, they're both French, so they can argue in French, which is nice.
The thing is, right, with Neil Maupay, is I think he's been such a good signing for Brighton. Like the goals he scored, he's just such a good striker. Like that, the goal at the end literally proves how good he was. Like the intelligence to leave that ball for Connolly to flick it round the defender for him to get back onto, and the finish were just lovely. He was having an interview now. I want to see what he's saying.
I've just seen Fizz Taz tweet, why would you go for that, ruining someone's career? No, Maupay or Cowan. I see the image, I haven't seen the clip. It just looks like Leno's gone to catch with hand. Maupay's already got 1 foot off the ground. I'll try to find the actual clip so I can give my opinion. But
for me, I agree with him because Leno had already caught it. In my opinion, he already had possession of the ball.
Right. Red Bull Leipzig on the 18th of January put who, and he was picturing Timo Werner with his hands to his ears, and Dortmund have just replied to it, Haaland. They have had their pants properly down. Yeah.
Kieran is currently watching the thingy, so when he gets back, he can do the outro. But while we do that, he's probably listening to Neil Maupay explain his actions.
I'm just that's definitely going to be a personal, personal opinion sort of thing. Of some people will say, he's got a right to go for the ball. He may have just only seen eyes to the ball. As a player, you should be aware of where the goalkeeper is.
It's one of them. If Leno doesn't get injured, that sort of stuff happens all the time, and it's fine. And it's a little bit of afters, but nothing real problem. But because he's got injured from it, that's now started the whole he's out of order.
Yeah.
So it's one of them, different situation, and that probably everyone turns a blind eye to it.
I'm just looking now. What's next for Arteta? Do you think he'll? Well, not what's next for Arteta, because I think they'll keep him.
Because before the break, they were unbeaten in 2020 before the City game.
Where do Arsenal? Because Kieran D obviously still in here. Where do Arsenal invest for next season? Because it's rumored they're bringing in Upamecano, aren't they?
Aubameyang's leaving. Now, after these 2 performances, there is no reason for that man to stay at this club because they appear to have no direction. Wonky move from the BT cameraman here. I don't know if Kieran D can see. He's all over the place trying to find. But
what is he doing? Has he got bloody Parkinson's or something?
He's waving it all about. But in terms of Arsenal, they're going to lose Aubameyang. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose Lacazette because these players want to play for a winning team, and Arsenal isn't a winning team anymore anyway. So I won't be surprised if they need to do a full-on rebuild soon.
I mean, he likes Nketiah, doesn't he? I can probably see him being a striker next year if Aubameyang leaves. I don't think Aubameyang will want to stay if they don't get into Europe.
No, they have good youngsters, but when you want to be a European team, I mean, it wasn't very long ago. People were arguing with because Arsene Wenger only got them Champions League football every year. They don't. Yeah. Now you're in Europa League. You get what you wish for.
You might not even be in Europa League next year if you finish in 9th. And Wolves can move even further in front of them today. And you're thinking Burnley, they probably will do. Crystal Palace play tonight against Bournemouth at 7:45 live on BBC. Make sure you watch it. #Spawn.
No, #Spawn. I think we have to say that.
BBC.
That is false advertising.
No, it's not a #Spawn. But yeah, you think if Palace win, I'm pretty sure they go above Arsenal.
They're in dire straits. They really are.
Great band.
They're in free fall, aren't they, at the moment, Arsenal?
Sorry, go on.
No, you've got breaking news.
Well, no, breaking news, but it's just from France. Meunier and Cavani both signed not to accept contract extension for PSG past 30th June. That's probably confirmed, and will not play for the club in the rest of the Champions League fixtures.
Yeah, that was expected though. Meunier's probably got to Dortmund, isn't
he? Cavani's probably going to the MLS.
Yeah, I'd take Cavani. I'd take Cavani for a year.
Yeah, he's still got it in the locker. Definitely, he's still a quality player. That's a dog. Hello.
You let the dogs out.
He's still a quality player, but he is getting on the north of 32, I think, something like that.
Yeah. So, thank you both for joining me today. It's been lovely. Probably not as lovely for me as it has been for you, Kieran. That's the other way around. Probably not as lovely for you as it has been for me, Kieran. Sorry about that. Rowan, you probably had a good day.
Yeah, great result for Dortmund.
I know you do like your Dortmund, don't you? So,
yeah, I'd say like you lot have got your teams that you can be investing. I'm like, well, all season's been finished. F1's not around. Mon the Dortmund.
So yeah, we haven't actually. Are we doing the sponsor anymore? Or are we not?
And on Monday we have the.
If you want to click it, it's the Athletic.
Right, yeah.
Look at it.
Right beneath mine and Rowan's head. Well, our avatar icons. It's right there.
Leroy Sané.
Yep. Right, so, but this is not all we do on the top corner, sports corner, whatever you want to call us, the bloody back corner. On Monday, we have the wrestling corner, hosted by Rowan, with Simon B.
Is it? Wait, why is it Monday?
Why is it Monday? What's Josh written here?
Monday?
Hold up.
It's Tuesday.
See, that's because he don't even watch our constant. I'm going to spell Tuesday wrong.
No, please don't spell Tuesday wrong. Right, I just give us 1 second, and we'll be back with you. You can do it wrong. Come on.
Technical difficulties, boys.
Right. On a Tuesday, we have the wrestling corner. It says, is it at 4 p.m? I thought it was in the morning. You did it.
Oh my God, Josh! Jesus! Right. Hold up.
Hang on.
Wrong time.
Just give me 1 second. Just 1 second. Right. Take 3.
No, take 4. We're getting take 4.
What's wrong now?
Because it's put
11:30 p.m.
In hell.
Right, take 4. On Tuesdays, we're the wrestling corner at 11:30 a.m. hosted by Rowan with his guest Simon B. Rowan, what did you talk about this week?
This week we talked about I think it was Backlash, and sort of one of the most enjoyable Raws of this year so far. This week, there's not much to talk about. We talk about Friday Night SmackDown and sort of The Fiend making his return, but not The Fiend, if that makes sense. Bray Wyatt making his return. And we're going to do United States Champions this week in the main event. So, yeah, stay tuned for that.
Ooh, sounds interesting. On a Wednesday, we have the three of us will return, along with our host, Josh, for the Top Corner Football European podcast. We'll review all the football that's been on the weekend. We'll probably talk about how Brighton humiliated Arsenal, and we'll probably have the reaction to the other games that go on the weekend. We'll try and err on the side of caution of Hull, though, so Kieran doesn't get annoyed. On Thursdays or Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays or whenever it is, we have the NFL Corner hosted by Kieran. We had it yesterday, didn't we, Kieran?
I can't believe it. Honestly, my team's lost. I'm getting slated because we don't have a day and we don't have a time and we don't really know what we talk about. Yeah, it was yesterday, and we did talk about the final of the division previews. And I'd talk about what we'll talk about next week, but we've not confirmed it yet because there's nothing really going on in the NFL. So we're going to try and do some maybe ranking videos, and we're going to go to maybe even go some bit of tier list, bit of YouTubey stuff. You love to see it.
I'd love to do some tier lists in the future. That is just an idea that we should probably do.
We might beat you to it. We'll probably do it next week in terms of quarterback.
We're going to do some tier list of his own. Yeah, me and Ron are going to have a Monday tier list video.
There you go. Some content. Well, Monday's took by the Wrestling Corner. That's what we're saying at the moment.
Yeah, apparently.
Right.
And at 4 p.m. apparently.
Yeah, at 4 p.m. if you want to watch the Wrestling Corner again on a Monday, be my guest. But if you want more content from us and from Josh in particular, if you head over to twitch.tv/topcorner, it's on the bottom of the screen right there, just under mine and Rowan's heads again. So Shaggy and Sané's heads or feet. He's currently running a Euro 2020 tournament simulation. 24 teams have entered. It's completely simulated on PES, free to enter. 23 teams and a charity spot for a cash prize. And currently, my team's got 3 points. Just thought I'd throw that out there. And I am Romanian manager.
Mine's currently got 3, and I'm England, so.
But I'm Romanian. Levels to.
No, I know that's why it's bad.
He also streams FIFA on there as well. If you want to ever watch him, I know FIFA's getting to the point where it's dead now, but Josh is very committed. He makes a lot of packs. Please go and check him out, and please check us out on the YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever you want to do. Check out the Athletic as it's there again. These are the scores from today. I'll let it run through once, and then we'll be done. So, does anybody want to say something?
I was going to say next Saturday. We do these every Saturday. Then, when obviously football will go for a bit, and then when we come back in September, we'll probably still do these at the weekend. We'll all be together as well, so sometimes we may be able to do later streams where we're all watching the same game. Because we're actually all together. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I think we will be. Next week, I think it'll be majority of the Bundesliga with maybe one of your championship aims. You've got your big Bundesliga games. This is Premier League game at 12:30. But yeah, no big games at your 3-ish, 2-ish, apart from your championship Bundesliga. So yeah.
Right. So that is all from the three of us. Thank you, Rowan. Thank you, Kieran, for joining me. I have been the host, obviously, the lovely host. Make sure you check out the other stuff on the channel. Make sure you check the Twitch out, the Athletic. Anything you want is on the channel, and make sure you follow us on Twitter at @the_Top Corner Sports Corner. Is it Top Corner? Top Corner.
Top Corner.
Top Corner. It's at the _Top Corner, but we are called the Sports Corner. Make sure you check us out for any updates. Josh is always updating the Twitter daily, hourly, minutely, I should say. So yeah, that's been it from all of us.
That's a lot of pressure on Josh.
So long, guys. Have a very, very good day and stay safe.
Peace. Bye bye.